you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. And you let her go. Staring at the bottom of your glass, hoping one day you'll make a dream last. The dreams come slow and they go so fast. Well, you see her when you close your eyes. Maybe one day you'll understand why. 'Cause everything you touch, it surely dies.
Ooh, it's Mike in the Night.
Oh, you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. Staring at the ceiling in your dark, same old empty feeling in your heart. 'Cause love comes slow and it goes so fast. Well, you see her when you fall asleep, but never to touch and never to keep. 'Cause you love too much and you dive too deep. When it's burning low, only miss the sun when it starts to snow.
Today is Monday, January the 26th, 2026. January 26th, 2026. Kind of repetitive there. Kind of a rebound type. 2026. Welcome to episode 634 of Mike in the Night. And I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you're watching this transmission. Whether you're watching us from your camper or cabin in the woods, or your condo in the sky, or maybe just relaxing on your lazy boy. People of the night, welcome to Mike in the Night. It is 3 a.m. somewhere, and something is moving you. We are on season, I don't even know anymore, but let's double check here. We are on season 34, episode 5. Welcome to Mike in the Night. Step in from the cold. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it's cold. It's a cold one. It's a cold year. So much for global warming. So much for Florida being underwater in 2012. So much for Al Gore. But anyways, step in from the cold. Come by the fire. Sit down with us. Crack open bring you over a hot cocoa or a nice hot tea or a nice hot coffee. And let's sit by the fire and talk tonight on Mike in the Night. We are on the fifth week. Fifth week of 2026. And it's rolling, folks. It's moving. It's steamrolling ahead. And the older we get, time moves faster. More and more events are happening all over the world at the same time. And time is just speeding up for us. To that end paradigm that, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Anyways, guys, thank you for being here tonight on Mike in the Night. Let's go into the email. So people are asking for our email list. It's right here, MikeMartins1980@gmail.com. MikeMartins1980@gmail.com. Go ahead and email me, and I will go ahead and add you to our mail list. This mail goes right to me. and I will add you to our email list so you don't miss a episode of Mike in the Night. And guys, don't forget that Mike in the Night is viewer discretion is advised, 21 and older. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Fact check and do your own research. Section 18 U.S. Code 2257. So guys, do your own research. Don't believe a damn thing we tell you. It's your job to go out and make sure you are being informed correctly. So there's a disclaimer right there. 21 and older. For Mike in the Night. All right, what's going on, folks? There's lots going on. Let's go into a quick channel plug, and we're going to rock and roll it here. Tonight, we're going to open lines after we do a bit of headlines and get your take on what's going on. Maybe we could discuss a bit of solutions, what's going on with solutions, and the comments are rolling nice and live moving nice. We got JG in the comments saying it's cold in Florida, it's only 58. So we got saying, hi, Mike. I'm in a JHB. Now listening to you. Thank you. We've been hitting minus 47 this past week. All right, I'm not going to brag, but it's only been like minus 3 where I live. The coldest it got was minus 3, and I think it reached a high of plus 4 today. Again, I'm in BC. I'm in a little bit warmer climate where I am. I think we had 1 or 2 days where it was like minus 10 or minus 11. But that was quick. It came and gone. The cold flashes are gone. We don't even have snow here where I am. So it's fine. We got some good weather here where I'm at. So don't worry too much about me. I'm doing good where I'm at. But other parts of Canada, man, it's frigid. Minus 40, minus 50 with the wind chill and stuff. And people like in Chicago, New York, New Hampshire, Buffalo, New York is getting hit there by Niagara Falls. Toronto, Oakville, Mississauga, all those areas. Winnipeg, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta. Those places are freezing, man. So we got somebody from Johannesburg tuning in from the show. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Comments are moving nicely here tonight on Mike in the Night on this January 26, 2026. Episode 634, and let's go to a quick channel plug, guys. Guys, you know that this channel is funded by you guys. I don't get paid to be here. I've been offered to get paid to lie to you guys 3 times, and we made 3 videos reading the emails. They wanted to buy me out years ago, back in 2020, 2021, 2022, and we just said no. We politely said no, or politely ignored. So if you want to buy your boy a coffee here, we get maybe 1 to 3 coffees a week, maybe 1 coffee a week. Sometimes we make about $200 to $300 a year on coffee donations, $200 to $300 a year. So we don't make a lot of money. I'm just giving you guys insight. And guys, if you want to join the 99 Cent Club here, members here, the 99 Cent Club on YouTube, if you want to join that, go ahead and do that. And here's our Facebook, guys, and we are blowing up on Facebook nicely. We are getting our stuff out. I posted a 2019 video. What a beautiful video. What a beautiful monologue while I was driving here. U.S. debt clock out of control. China selling U.S. debt to buy gold. Fuel, food, and rent set to skyrocket. What a beautiful monologue, beautiful discussion video I did here for you guys. This was in January 2019. What a great video. I posted it up on the Facebook. It's an older video, and if you guys like 6, 7 years old, if you guys want to watch it, it's worth the watch. And guys, Real Mike Martins, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, or you guys want to message me on Instagram, or if you guys want to be message me here on Instagram when we open lines on the show, you guys are welcome to do that. And I'll periodically check my message requests. And don't forget TikTok. Get the hell off TikTok. We're back in 300 viewer jail. We used to get 4 to 10, 20,000, 5,000, 3,000, 6,000, 79,000, 57,000 views. But then now we're back in 300 view prison on TikTok. So guys, get off of TikTok. TikTok, you're not getting any info. It's basically Chinese funded garbage. So get off of TikTok. They don't allow the message to get out. And it's not like people aren't going to find out anyway. It's like this stupid. And if you want to find more episodes of Mike in the Night, go to mikeinthenight.org, where you could find tons of episodes of Mike in the Night going back with all our callers and all our discussions and all our whatever, everything. Going back to everything we've been warning about, talking about prediction shows. What other shows did we do? Shows about, solution shows. We did everything. We talked about everything. We tried to get the word out. And I want to spotlight Dano, guys. Dano. Art by Dano. Guys, Dano sent me some pretty cool cartoons that he made. And I'm going to leave Dano's Instagram there in the live chat. So if you guys want to follow Dano, go ahead and do that, guys. Dano's a great guy. He's been on the show multiple times. Go ahead here and message him. Because you guys know Dano, and Dano's been on the show here from Huntington Beach, California. Go check out Dano. Anyways, guys, you are tuned in to Mike in the Night. It's so good to have you guys here tonight. And I'd like to thank Craig Cook for the intro song. Craig Cook for the intro song. Thank you very much, Craig Cook, for the intro song. And we've been playing it. It's an acoustic guitar song that does not flag any... it doesn't flag any copyright or whatever infringement. So thank you, Craig Cook, for giving us that song here. Or it'd be a silent Mike in the Night intro, but that's okay. That's okay. All right. So we got Rick Silver 55 in the house. Sandy's back, and if you guys want to catch Sandy, she was on last week's show. And yeah, good. We got everyone joining us here, and just trying to see if there's anybody else, any other, making sure all the platforms are working, guys. We try to restream on as many platforms as possible, and a lot of people are telling me they're getting issues with loading our old videos, and our old videos that we recommend people can't find those videos. They don't exist on YouTube. I send them the link, it goes right to the video. But they look up the video with the exact title, it won't come up on YouTube. We're completely shadow banned. And people are like, get off YouTube, what are you complaining for? No. Our archive, our work for the last 15 years, right? So, you know, our archive, our work. And checking to see if all the live streams are moving nicely here. Guys, sorry, we don't have an engineer here to help when we are live. It's kind of, you know, kind of a one-man show here. But I got used to it over the years, you know. Got used to meeting so many beautiful people. Got used to getting down to what's going on. What are they going to do next? What's the next distraction, as say? We are frontliners. We are next week's news today here. We are next week's news today here. Good, everything seems to be flowing nicely here, guys. Tonight on Mike in the Night. All right, beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Let's go into some headlines, folks, and then we're going to get into your calls here tonight on this January 26, 2026. Yeah. Headlines. So, it's really hard to make a video or really hard to do a show now without telling you we told you so. It's like when you're so long at this and so long, hey guys, this isn't normal. Hey guys, this doesn't feel right. Hey guys, what the heck is this? Why? This is defying logic. What are you thinking? So many years of it. It's like, how do we say, we told you so? We told you. We warned you. And what happened when we told you so? We were made fun of. We were pooped on. People made fun of us. People made fun of me. They call me fat. They call me chubby. They call me chunky. They call me tubalard. They call me all kinds of stuff when I'm saying, guys, this isn't normal. And what am I talking about? Canada. Canadian developers sit on record unsold homes, half in Toronto and Vancouver. Again, both places are fallen. Why? Because they were competing with Chinese money laundering. And there's the graph right there. Canadian real estate developers see unsold inventory hit record high. There's the record high there at 19,000. That's recorded from December 2025, a month ago. Numbers have finally fallen in, and that's what's happening right there. Woo! And let's move on here. Watch. And we told you guys. Look. Money laundering forcing Canadian middle class into homelessness. Sold to the highest bidders. Canadians need to compete with offshore money laundering. CCP 1.1 million. That's me in Vancouver on the street. 1.1 million for a starter family home 9 years ago. Chinese are laundering money and putting pressure on Canadian middle-class affordable housing 8 years ago. It's like, look, Vancouver is dying. Aboriginals and whites leaving Vancouver as we sell off to Chinese investors. CCP money laundering hotspot 7 years ago. It's right here. So how do we not tell people we told you so? And Toronto real estate developers just had the worst year in 4 decades. And here's your worst year. And there he goes. Look at this drop right here. Toronto new home prices down 25.4%, but remain out of reach. They're still out of reach. Housing and real estate is still out of reach. And that's what's happening here, folks. It's still unaffordable. Even they need to go down 80% from this point because of the taxation, the cost of living a basic lifestyle has gotten so expensive that homes need to go down 80% from where they're at now to be able to live a normal, basic, average home lifestyle. We're not talking about lifestyles of the rich and famous. Look at this, $1.4 million. It's dropped to 1.4 million, the benchmark. And there's condominiums and apartments, $1 million. It's still, again, you're competing with Chinese money laundering. And we told you guys so right here. Canadian housing predictions for Q1. This is for 20. Don't buy this crap. Another Toronto real estate ripoff. Massive foreclosures in Toronto. Getting scary. That was 7 years ago, before they pulled the trigger on a pandemic because they were already, markets were correcting, right? Toronto housing market in trouble. Canadian housing predictions. Okay. Rent increase. Condo crash in Vancouver. Vancouver condo median prices nears 900,000. It just keeps going on and on. Condo buyers take developer to court. So we've been warning you guys. Toronto real estate prices increase unexplained, or is it CCP money laundering? Right? Am I just dumb when it comes to real estate? And over and over. Look, investors pumping up Toronto real estate market 9 years ago. It wasn't the Canadian proper. Canadians were competing with the money laundering. Canadians were competing. Man, there's so many here. Look, Toronto's dying. 1 bedroom Toronto in Toronto now costs $2,500 a month. That was back, way back, right? Look at this. $200K a year income to buy a home in Toronto area. Middle class extinction and mass exodus. 8 years ago, you needed $200,000 to buy this piece of shit house. Look at this piece of shit. Look at this piece of shit. Oh, see? They don't see my videos. Look, my videos aren't loading anymore. My old videos don't load.
YouTubers.
Look at this. 6-figure income. Needed to buy almost any home in the GTA, the Greater Toronto area. Let's go to look at the picture of the house. Look at this piece of shit. You need $200,000 for that piece of shit? Oh, supply and demand. Oh, Mike. Oh, it's the location. Everybody hates each other there. Everyone's pissed off. Nobody has money. Oh, supply. You're going to live there with people pissed off? No one has money and pissed off? Is that what you want? Oh, but it's just Toronto. It's like, shit, man. You could buy this in West Palm Beach, Florida for 70 grand. You could buy this in Ocala, Florida for 40 grand. And you don't have to see a day of cold. There it is right there. For this piece of shit. You need $200,000 a year to pay that for 30 years. And there's going to be blood. Mark my words, folks. We're going to see blood on the streets in Canada. Economic blood on the streets. This could even lead to civil unrest. This could be the fire under the Canadians' ass to wake up and take their country back. Nobody. You're not going to vote nobody to come in here and fix this. Nobody. Oh, but we got the conservative. You have nothing. No one's coming to save you, Canada. You can't vote your way out of this. Yep, someone in the comments is saying we're lucky to have a doghouse. Someone saying, how the heck can temporary foreign workers afford to live in our country? Well, again, they don't have occupancy laws like in some states in America. For every 2 people, there's 1 bathroom. So if you have 4 people in a house, you need 2 bathrooms. 6 people, 3 bathrooms. So that's why when you go down to Florida and places like, why is it 4 bedroom, 7 bath? Why is that house 4 bedrooms, 7 bath? Why 7 baths? It's because it's the occupancy law, 2 people per bathroom, right? If Canada passed that overnight, all the bunk beds in living rooms and bunk beds in closets and bunk beds will disappear overnight. And neighbors start calling the city, hey, there's 20 people living next door to me. They only have 2 bathrooms. Only 4 people could live there. Yeah. Yeah, we're at the end. People are saying, yeah, the end is coming, guys. That's what everyone's seeing. Yeah, RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, already warned of mass civil unrest. This is going to spark civil unrest. Oh, yeah. Brainwashing the Canadians to hate the Americans. Brainwashing. Everyone I talk to here hates America. I hate Americans. I hate America. I'm like, well, you could buy that same house you live in down in Oklahoma for $40,000 with land. Freehold property. And you can have a gun to protect that land. Oh, I hate Americans. Mantelang. Like a bus. Yeah. All right, let's move on. All right, I'm going to close this. This is making me depressed. Let's close this crap right now. All right, Trump says U.S. Justice Department looking into Ilhan Omar's wealth. I don't know how these people are even allowed to be in America. I don't understand. And we brought this up before, and people are calling me a racist. It's, why is there even an Ethiopian or Ethiopia? Somalia? Why are these groups even allowed to exist in America? It doesn't make no sense. They don't build nothing. They don't fix nothing. They don't repair nothing. They weren't founding like the Irish came, the Italians, the Portuguese, the Greeks built everything, all the infrastructure, and those are the ones that are being forced out, and those are the ones that are the problem of the country, and then bringing in people that don't do nothing and defraud the system. So when people say, Mike, what do you think of this whole Somali fraud ring in America? Why are they even allowed to exist there? Why are they even there? It makes no sense. So, yep. And so Judd, I don't even know who the hell this guy is here. Judd, I don't know who this guy is. Blast Trump illegal immigration crackdowns as completely heinous. Everybody has to get involved and wake up. No. We put a playlist up before Trump got elected. We put a playlist on how to deport. And I'm thinking in my heart of hearts, how America could deport all illegals overnight, literally overnight, by following the playbook that Canada did in 2006, 7, and 8, when Canada did mass deportation of Portuguese families. Canada deported 47,000 Portuguese families in 2006, 7, and 8, when they originally came in 2000 on path to citizenship to build the country. Everything that Trump is doing with ICE is exactly what and we have the playlist up on YouTube if you want to watch how to deport Americans, how to deport your country Canadian style, or how to deport illegals from your country Canadian style, holding the kids back at the school, waiting for paperwork. They did that to the Portuguese at Archbishop Romero Catholic Secondary School on Black Creek and Weston Road. They did it at St. Mary's School. They did the whole 9 yards, everything that they're doing. Vehicle road blitzes. They did all the vehicle road blitzes, looking in cars. Are you Portuguese? What are you doing here? Well, what are you doing? Oh, we came to build this country, and then now you're kicking us out? But that's how it works, right? So the playlist is up on YouTube here. I'll even show you guys the playlist, so you guys don't think I'm making this crap up. So you guys understand I'm not making shit up for you guys, because this is a big deal. And once people start to realize that, wait a second, Canada is doing what Trump did, and we told you guys, and we told you multiple times that the Canadian media is going to completely ignore what they did to the Portuguese in 2006. You go to my playlists, and there's an American guy in the front there. There we go. Playlist looks like this, folks. See, my videos are not loading properly, and people are how to deport illegals. Tips for Americans. I'm going to help you Americans out, giving you a page of the Canadian deportation and to teach you guys how to deport illegals from your country. Now, there is rumor that if Donald Trump is allowed to be elected into presidency, he wants to do mass deportations. Well, I'm going to teach you guys how to do it. And these are very important tips because you're going to follow the Canadian playbook. You're not going to do Egyptian playbook. You're not going to use a Filipino playbook. You're not going to use an East Sudan playbook, a Greenland playbook. You're going to use a Canadian playbook on deportation because the Canadians have it down better, probably than any other culture I've ever seen. In 2007 and 2008, 47,000 Portuguese were deported from the Toronto region area. So we got, this was before Trump got elected. Here's the entire playlist. Canada hates Portuguese people. Indian war on Canadian soil. How to deport half your country in a week. So I made this entire playlist for Americans, teaching them how to round up vehicle road blitzes. We're in Canada on a path to citizenship. In 2008, the housing market started to go south. So they went and started deporting Portuguese entire families, entire purging of families. Now, I'm going to teach you Americans what they did and what you guys can implement, what Canada did. Number one, getting the teachers to hold back all the students that they think may be illegal. Yes. In the high schools, St. Mary's, Archbishop Romero, in Toronto, all the teachers held back. There it is right there. So, there it is. There's the playbook there. It explains to you guys this before Trump even got elected, what to do and how to do. And ICE is doing a good job, and ICE needs to continue. If you're illegal, you're illegal. You're illegal. What part you're illegal? It's like, I'm not scared of the police because I'm not a criminal. Why would I be scared of the police for? I'm no criminal. So everything ICE is doing, the vehicle road blitzes, the holding the kids back at the schools, going to work areas, or work, like, Canada did the exact same thing in 2006, 7, and 8, and you can't find a single article. Now you go to ChatGPT, it says there's no proof of it. It never happened. Never happened. It's gone. Disappeared. Yep. All right, so let's move on. Okay, let's move it on here on Mike in the Night. And okay, gold. So guys, don't forget to check in daily with us on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram for our daily shorts. Every day I put up 1 to 2 shorts for you guys. And I'd like if you guys could check, ring the bell on Facebook, YouTube, or if you could do that on Facebook, I'm not sure. I put up a short once or twice a day, so if you guys want to check out our shorts, they're short, they're 2 minutes, they're to the point, I have spoken, and that's it. Gotta keep you guys updated and refreshed on what is happening. Okay, so gold smashes 5 large, and our video's up there from last week that it was going to bypass 5 large. Gold smashes $5,000 as global uncertainty fuels historic rally. Gold is back in the headlines after smashing through the $5,000 barrier just a week after another rise came on the back of Donald Trump threatening tariffs over the pursuit of Greenland. The ongoing geopolitical uncertainty, not just around the U.S., but in Japan's bond market and wider EU uncertainty too. EU is broke. The EU is broke. It's completely broke. And U.S. dollar is losing value. Canadian is plummeting. We're going to be at 60. We're going to be at a 60-cent dollar in Canada. My prediction that I made 3 years ago is going to happen. We're going to be at a 60-cent dollar. And again, gold price surges beyond $5,100 for new record. And gold shattered another record on Monday with a surge above $5,100 an ounce, as rising global tensions kept safe haven demand elevated. Other precious metals also gained. So there it is right there, guys. We have, according to ChatGPT, we got 301 videos that state that we said since 2012, either in a live stream or a video, buy physical silver and gold. That's real money. Heck, we've had Lord Humongous come on the show, I don't know, like 50 times in the last 10 years saying gold and silver are real currency, right? Gold and silver, right? Yeah, we covered, someone says, Australian hate speech, wishy-washy law, government passed. We covered that too. Go check out our shorts. We're covering all these important stuff. And silver hits historic $100 milestone while gold nears 5 large amid global instability. And silver prices have tripled historic above $100 an ounce. And geopolitical volatility and economic fear are driving a flight to tangible assets. Again, real money, gold to the moon. We kept telling you guys the market is in a structural deficit with record low physical inventory. So paper versus gold, guys. If you remember, we did our silver paper or silver gold or silver certificates versus physical. There's this much paper in the world of physical this is how much paper there is in existence of the world of gold and silver certificates, and this is how much physical there is. There's not enough physical to meet the paper. So JP Morgan, all those big banks are just Deutsche Bank. They're just giving out these certificates saying you got 2 ounces or 10 ounces of gold, when realistically you have fuck all. You got nothing, right? All right. And what else? The rally signals profound loss of confidence of traditional financial... I'm going to play that. It's a 1-minute short here for you guys. It's a 1-minute short. We're almost done our headlines anyway. Let me just go in here real quick. I got these shorts. I'm going to start playing some of the shorts here once in a while because... okay, we got some stuff here we haven't talked about here, but we're going to get into that right now. Let's go into some shorts, because we covered all this, guys, and in 1 minute we could, that's the condo market. Okay, this is an important one, guys, because the U.S. debt clock is to cross $39 trillion. Again, we are getting this error all over the world. People are complaining that they can't see our videos. So the United States is about to cross $39 trillion in national debt. 39 trillion, folks. Not in 10 years, not in the projections, right now. That's over $115,000 per American. That's over $300,000 roughly per working. That's $150,000 per head in America. That's how much debt America is carrying right now. Watch this. Household. And here's the part they don't want you to focus on. The U.S. now spends almost $1 trillion a year just on interest. Not healthcare, not roads, not defense. Interest. Servicing the debt. Before a single teacher gets paid, a soldier, before a single veteran even gets help, before a single bridge gets fixed. This is what debt saturation looks like, people. And 70 to 75% of the federal budget is on autopilot. Social Security, Medicare, defense, and servicing the debt. Congress could barely touch it. So every shutdown fight you see is complete theatrics. Because the real problem is structural. High debt, higher rates. Higher rates, higher interest. Higher interest, more borrowing. More borrowing, higher debt. That's what we call a debt spiral. Not a death spiral, a debt spiral. Now add this. Foreign countries still hold 7 to 8 trillion of U.S. debt. Japan, Britain, and China nearly has, 700 billion. If demand weakens, the Treasury must offer higher rates just to roll the debt. Kick the can down the road. Remember that? This is how empires don't collapse in one day. They collapse slowly through currency debasement, financial repression, inflation, taxes. Go study the fall of the Roman Empire. A generational theft is what it is. 39 trillion is not a headline. It's a warning light on a global financial system. And there's no political solution to fix it. Only inflate, devalue, or default quietly through inflation. That's the end game. On January 19, 2019, we made a video called U.S. Debt Clock Out of Control, China Selling U.S. Debt to Buy Gold, Fuel, Rent Set to Skyrocket. In that video, we mentioned, what if China purposefully defaults on its debts to destroy Western society? Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Mike Martin's here. I have spoken. All right. So people are having troubles playing my shorts, any of my videos. Any of our older videos are having troubles. playing our videos. I've been getting a lot of messages where people just can't see them. So Rick Silver saying, Norway's smart. We need sovereign wealth to fund like they do. That's a good point. All right, who else is here? Norway's looking at seizing properties when war breaks out. Yeah, Craig Cook is saying no real growth since 1990, maybe 94 after that been propped up. I see them fine in Australia, Mike. Okay. All right, let's go to, I want to do our gold breaking 5K. This is an important one too, guys. These are just really quick shorts, guys. Nobody panic, okay? Here goes. Oh, this content is not available in your country. All right, let's refresh. Gold is about to break 5,000 US dollars because people are losing confidence in governments and their currency is collapsing. We've been warning you guys about this for the last 15 years. Gold is not moving by accident. This isn't some sort of hype or a fad. This is a structural shift. Here are 5 real reasons gold is screaming higher. 5 reasons. Number 1, central banks are panic buying. China, Russia, Turkey, India, they're dumping U.S. treasuries and stacking physical gold. And we covered this back in 2014 that China and Russia were selling treasuries. Why? Because they don't trust the dollar system anymore. When the central banks become buyers instead of sellers, that is what you call a regime change. Number 2, interest rates are peaking. The moment rate cuts begin, gold explodes. Lower real yields, weaker currency, higher gold. Every easing cycle in history has launched some sort of bull market. Go back to the Roman Empire, you'll see it too. Number 3, government debt is out of control. U.S. debt is over, I think, $30 trillion or $34 trillion. Canada exploding deficits. Europe is insolvent. Gold is not rising. Fiat currencies are dying. Number 4, the geopolitical fracture we warned you guys about. Wars, sanctions, BRICS expansion, trade wars, de-dollarization. Gold is the only asset with no counterparty risk. When the world fragments, gold becomes the natural money again, real currency, gold and silver. Number 5, the dollar is being debased. Digital currencies, QE coming back, monetization of debts. Inflation never really fully died. It was just delayed. This is not a trade. This is a loss of confidence cycle, okay? Gold doesn't go to 5,000 because people are greedy. It goes there because people no longer trust government, currencies, or the central banks. No confidence. And once trust breaks, it never comes back quietly. And we covered that back in 2016. Back on July 2018, we made a Mike in the Night 120, episode 120. Stack physical, silver, gold now. Silver and gold are undervalued. Food set to skyrocket. Look forward to reading your comments below. Mike Martin's here. I have spoken. All right, folks. Yeah. All right, guys. You are tuned into Mike in the Night. All right, guys. And we got still here Mark Carnini. Mark Carnini is here. Here's Mark Carnini. Carney reveals GST credit to increase due to grocery costs. Again, it's all government red tape, cost of producing, cost of transporting groceries, cost of being in business, cost of selling the groceries. It's just too damn expensive in Canada. It's just too damn expensive to exist in Canada. So Mark Carney is going to give you $40. And Canadian MP Carney unveils multi-billion-dollar push to lower food costs. Yeah, cut the government restrictions and let farmers grow what they want and stop with the bullshit and the red tape and the bureaucracies and everything, okay? Let farmers grow what they want. Stop having this reach over farmers and this shutdown over the farmers and controlling the farmers. And what else? Oh, I thought they had my food videos up there. Lots of food videos up there. And right here, more than 40 Ukrainian MPs investigated for corruption, prosecutors. So we told you guys that this whole Ukrainian war, the Ukraine war, was money laundering. It's just money laundering from day one. We told you, don't take sides. It's all money laundering, weapons testing, drone testing. Don't take sides. This war is money laundering. It's garbage. They're pulling you in. And then you had all of these content creators, Russia bad, Ukraine good, putting up Ukraine flags everywhere. Fucking losers. Fucking losers is what they are. So, and Italy Deputy Prime Minister tells Zelensky to sign a peace deal immediately. You're losing the war. This wasn't meant to be won, guys. We told you this from day one. Don't take sides. But here we are. What else we got here? And we got the Minnesota insurrection. And here's some Minnesota insurrection video here for you guys. I don't want to flag the channel, but there it is there. I don't put no audio. And a bunch of paid protesters to go out there and just burn a bunch of cars. I think there was a car on fire back here. Hold on. Yeah, right here. There's a car smoking. Probably an electric car, too. Those things catch fire all the time. And what else? Yeah, just, I don't know, coordinating off something here. Probably going to put a new Chaz there. There they are, yeah, just paid protesters wearing stupid, what do you call those, masks? Those, what do you call those masks? Surgical masks. Dude, if you're illegal, you're illegal. Get over it. You're illegal, you're illegal. Get the fuck out. That's how it works. Like, I don't know what this bullshit is, so there it is right there. Yeah, everyone's wearing, for some reason, are wearing surgical masks here. All right, guys, you are tuned in to Mike in the Night. We are on episode 634. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. Don't forget to buy me a coffee. And join our email list, MikeMartins1980@gmail.com. Just send me an email, and I will go in and add you to our email list. That's my direct email there. And guys, don't forget that viewer discretion is advised. 21 and older for Mike in the Night. The show is for entertainment purposes only. Fact check and do your own research. Section 18 U.S. Code 2257. And someone asked me, why are you using this U.S. code if you're living in Canada? Well, because these platforms that I'm operating through are majority are U.S. based. So, right? So, all right. So we got a lot of people here. The left lost their minds defending illegal aliens. Yeah. Dude, you're illegal. You're illegal. Right? I don't want to bring up my U.S. story, but when I went down to the United States, I was there like 5 years getting all my process done. Had to make sure I wasn't stealing an American's job. They ran ads on my penny. I had to pay for a company to run ads to make sure I wasn't stealing an American's job. I think it was $32,000 in a bank account in my name, a place in my name, a corporation to sponsor me to make sure, again, I'm not stealing but I'm a corporation. I did everything they asked me to do. It took years, but I got it done. I went in for my interview, and they told me they weren't taking my kind. They stamped my passport and told me I had 28 or 30 days to leave the country. I think it was 28 days to leave the country. So I left the country. I left the United States. I wasn't allowed to be there, even though I did everything they asked me by the book, by the T, T's crossed, I's dotted, everything to a T, right? So, yeah, so. So someone's asking me, was I Boomer sponsored? I don't know what that means. So that's it. That's my story. I went there. I did everything they asked for. They interviewed me, and they told me to get out. I did a criminal background check. It was clean. I did a health background check. I paid for that. Got that done. And everything was in order, and they basically told me to get lost. Okay. But that's... And I was thinking even back then. I was even thinking back then that, man, 50% or 40% of people living in this country are illegal. Back then in 2004, 2005, 2006, when I was living there, it's like, I'm willing to bet you that a quarter of the United States is illegal. I'm not joking. Oh, they were saying it was 18 million or 20 million illegals. No, it was more than that. They weren't accepting anyone to live in that country, right? Someone saying, I have given up and left back in 2021. They are full on mind control. So Lindsay saying they hate white people. See, but they don't see Lindsay. They don't hate the white people when they come from Ireland to go fight the war in the north, because the whole Civil War was about the crown and the banking, and the South didn't want to pay taxes to the crown in England, so they separated and say, screw you. We're going to create our own Confederacy currency, and screw you guys in the North. We don't want to be paying taxes to the crown. Then the Irish came over to fight for the North, but they needed the white people for that. And then they needed the white people to build all these cities. Who do you think built New York? The Italian, the Irish, the Portuguese, and the Greeks built New York, right? Massachusetts, Boston. They needed the white people to build your highways, to build your suburbia. They needed the white people for all of that. But now the white people are no longer needed, right? So bring in the Chinaman, bring in the Indian, bring in the Somalian, bring in the Pakistan, because everything's built. You see, if you brought in those people first, the Paki, Indian, those people, you brought those people in first, you wouldn't have a country, you see? So, yeah, population is a lie. It's a major lie. We've been on this population thing for years. I've been scavenging history books published 200-300 years ago, 400 years ago. I have a history book I'm going through, fine-tooth comb with white gloves, and it's completely falling apart. It was published in 1694, I think it was. 16, I gotta double check. And it's all in Latin. And I'm going through it slowly, deciphering it, looking at it. And all these countries that, Canada wasn't even in existence. A lot of these countries weren't even in existence. Right? It talks a lot about the Portuguese Empire. It talks a lot about the Spanish conquests in it. It talks about Egypt. But a lot of these countries were given different names then. It's not called Iraq. It's all different names that they gave these countries, right? I try to reference China in these books. There is China, but it's different dynasties. So it's not really China. You got to really figure it out. And it takes a lot of work researching this stuff, right? Yeah. Yeah, Tatarian. Tom Manley. Go to my documentary section. We talk about the Tatarian Empire, and I reference and I screenshot photos of some of my historical books on the Tatarian Empire. I gotta open a page here for the channel just so you guys could see what we're talking about. Because yeah, I'm self-promoting myself, but you know what? I have a message to get out there too, right? So you go to my YouTube channel because you're already on it. Go down to Conspiracy Vault, past the Columbus one, and Tatarian Empire, right here. Tatarian Empire and the Decommissioned Pyramids, and all this stuff is from historical books that I own. And this one here, and watch that, and then Operation High Jump. What else we got here? Healing frequencies, healing power, 432 hertz, consciousness versus awareness, Goldback Wars, lots of good stuff in this little conspiracy vault that we have here. And then if you scroll down, you got episodes of Mike in the Night that are allowed to be on YouTube because they keep getting taken down. So, all right. Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome, Tom. Yeah, we talk about the fall of the Tatarian Empire, and we're referencing Portuguese history books. The Portuguese were the first to map Antarctica, right? But they're completely removed from history. The Portuguese were the first to circumnavigate, the first to do everything. Oh, Mike, it was a German. The history book, so a German man was the first one that... Germany wasn't on a map for 300 years later. Germany didn't exist. So this is the problem we're facing here. It's all bullshit. Everything's bullshit. The Portuguese found something out. They knew something. It might have to do with the Military Order of Christ documentary we made in that documentary second. It might have to do with the Military Order of Christ. These guys. I'm part of these guys. So something happened in history with the Portuguese that they want to wipe them out. Something happened that they want to get rid of their history. And I'm looking for it. I am looking for it. When I was in Lisbon, Portugal, I was scouring bookstores, old books, looking for answers, talking to people there. And they're pulling me out books that were published 200-300 years ago. And I want that. I want to buy that now. How much is it, right? Because I believe there's something that's hidden in history they don't want us to know today, right? Yeah. Yeah, the Tartarian mudslides is in this documentary video, guys. Take the time to watch this video section. You scroll down on the channel, go to go to Conspiracy Vault, watch the Erased History, Truth About Christopher Columbus, Knights Templar, the formation of the Order of Christ, Templar Persecution, Templar Cross, and then go to the Tartarian ones, Operation High Jump, and then maybe Goldback. Maybe there's more in here. Hold on. Yeah, there's probably... American Civil War Truth, Independence from the Crown. It never was about freeing slaves. That one got me banned on a couple of platforms. So, yeah, go check that out, folks. Do that for me, man. I put in a lot of work for you guys over the years. Do it for me, man. Do it for Mike. No, we did not evolve from monkeys. That's all bullshit, too. That's complete bullshit. We're too perfect to be evolved. We're too perfect. It's like a junkyard full of cars, junk parts of cars. And then a hurricane goes through the junkyard, and then it builds a perfect Mercedes. Bullshit. We were put here. We're on a mission. Right? And not all of us are sold, too. There's a lot of NPCs. And everyone keeps making fun of me about my 41% video. People keep calling me retarded. Watch my 40... You guys want to watch something that's going to blow your brain? 41%. Type in 41% in my search bar here. Go to my search bar, 41%. Go check out 41%. Right here. 41%. Oh, they're missing. Some of them are... Oh, they're missing. Ah. So there's this one here. Okay, so they're missing. Oh, this one, 41% of us have a soul. Like we've been saying, guys, it doesn't matter what I'm telling you now, because the context or the information that you're receiving from me today means nothing. It's in 40, 50 years when they start having soul detection and finding out who does have a soul and who doesn't. And like I said, they're going to make a movie in 40, 50 years called The 41%. Because only 41% of us are born with consciousness and awareness. We die, the consciousness continues. Awareness is 2 plus 2 is 4. I drive my car, I go work bank. That's awareness. Consciousness, we know we're sold. We know we're souled beings. We could feel it. We could feel it in the air. We know when we die, it's just the beginning. Right? And soul detection is going to happen. This will happen, like I'm telling you guys. Yep. Some of us are here for a human experience. Some of us are here for a life experience. And some of us have been here a few times too. Right? Yep. Lenny Pooh saying right there, DNA proves that we are designed. We're fully designed. Everything is designed. My junk DNA video they took down back in 2013, 2014, my junk DNA. They took down my junk DNA video. Back in 2013 I made. Our junk DNA is a story of... The junk DNA they can't figure out or decipher is our story of who we are and how we came about. And our fingerprint of our soul is in the junk DNA. And they took down that video back in 2013 or 2014. Really pissed off. For it wasn't medical misinformation, it was something else. But Yeah. Art by Dano, guys. Dano, I've been plugging you tonight, buddy. Thanks for joining us. All right. Yeah, I might have to make this soul video again. God, tired. Wow. Junk Prime Minister. Crime Minister. I've been calling Mark Carney the Crime Minister of Canada. Heck, I've been calling Trudeau the Crime Minister of Canada. I got that from Netanyahu when they were protesting Netanyahu before the Hamas got played, before you guys got played, before the world got played. That whole Netanyahu Crime Minister out. They were protesting that. They were protesting that fucking guy 37 or 38 weeks straight. Not my Crime Minister. We don't want you, Netanyahu. Fucking Hamas attacks. That prick cements himself. And he's supposed to go to jail or he's supposed to get prosecuted. And the prosecutor that were supposed to prosecute him ended up dying in a plane crash. That's in our documentary we made about how Hamas got played. Watch how Hamas got played. And you guys will see the truth of why and how the whole world got played. You had a flag. You put flags on your profile. Bullshit. You got played. Yep. Yeah. Woo. Okay. Let's see who we got here in the messaging me here. So we got, we promised Eduardo to come on the show because he, and then Craig Cook messaged me earlier in the week that he has some solutions. Earlier in the last week. I don't know. Basically, I'm just going down the list here. And Eduardo is arguably the second or third most important guy you'll probably ever know. And we're trying to get him here on the show. It looks like he's watching us live. And, yeah, ain't no flag on my profile, son. Yeah, there's my flag. You see my bottom left here? That's my military order Christ. That's my flag right there, Jesus Christ. See that coat of arms right there? Jesus Christ. What else we got? Do we have any more? No, not on this one. Not on our email. No. Yeah, but it's right there. Right there. All right. Okay, let's see if we can get Eduardo on the show here tonight on Mike in the Night and discuss with us what he's finding out. Because apparently this guy finds stuff out by the hour. It's really hard to catch up with Eduardo. So, Eduardo, can you just message in the YouTube that you're here, that you're here, that we know you're here? All right, so let's see if we can get Eduardo here. On.
Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. And you let her go.
Eduardo.
Second or third most important. Who you kidding? I'm just a working stiff, man.
Oh, come on, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Eduardo here on Mike of the Night and his dog, Bubba, joining us tonight on the show.
Oh, man.
You're watching us on D-Live.
I was.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, because I got everything rolling nicely. So we're just getting right now. I think okay. I'll tell you right now. We are sitting. Just I'm not bragging here, folks. It's just we got about 454 people watching collectively across 9 platforms.
Yeah, they're gonna try to shut you down, man. The first thing to disappear when there's a war is the truth. How many times we got to say it?
Well, you said it 46 times in the show.
Anyways, first things first. Gold seems really expensive, eh?
It's just getting started. Gold needs to be sitting at about 8,600, and silver should be at about 400 right now.
Yeah, I think gold's going to be over 10,000 within the year.
Well, it has to, because once it has to catch up to the amount of money and debt and printed money that's out there, it's game over.
Oh, well, if you want it to get that caught up, then it's going to be around 40,000. Seriously.
Woo! All right, continue.
Where are we at now in the States? $38 trillion of official federal debt. Then you add in all the other debts.
Did you
over
watch my
100
video this
trillion?
morning?
No.
You suck. I did a whole
You
30.
suck. You're getting shadow banned. Don't bug me. Don't go after me, man.
I did a really good $39 trillion and the whole breaking points and the whole cause and effect order. It's a really good one. It's only a minute long. Go watch it.
Well, just review for people, those that didn't see it, like myself. I'm of the opinion that if you think silver is expensive at $160 an ounce, it was $40 an ounce about a year ago. Think about that. And then people are thinking, oh, it's going to pull back. When's it going to pull back? When it hits $250, then it pulls back 10%? That's what you're waiting for? You're going to miss $90 of gains.
Yeah.
So I'm pulling the trigger tomorrow. I'm going to buy more, even though I've been waiting for a pullback too. And I'm thinking, what an idiot I was. Should have bought back at Christmas when it started to run.
You know, I didn't stack too much silver or gold. I think I have 10 or 20 ounces of silver. That's all I own. And a lot of people, and I'm getting, Eduardo, 10 to 20, 30 people message me per week and saying, Mike, you have 300 plus videos telling people to buy gold and silver. That's the real money. Why don't you have any gold and silver? And I say to them,
mortgage.
No, I have 3 kids. You see, I'd rather be surrounded by my children when I die on my deathbed than being surrounded by gold and silver, because doesn't mean dick. When I die, at least I know a bit of me is going to continue. I have 3 kids, right? So my legacy will continue for a little while longer. And that's worth more than any gold and silver on this planet, right?
Fair enough, but if you had extra cash, you'd probably be better off putting it into gold and silver right now than some kind of stocks or something.
Dude, I'm a social media loser. I'm not. People call me, "Are you an influencer?" I'm like, my daughter asked me, "Are you an influencer?" I go, "Sweetheart, influencers are people that get paid to be on the internet and they get paid to tell people they get paid to say what they have to say." Oh, they don't pay you? I'm like, no, sweetheart. Daddy's doing this on his own accord. I'm doing it for the fact that we need to get some sort of a message out there.
Did you explain to her how a whole bunch of influencers came out of nowhere and they're getting paid to say the lies they were saying?
Yeah, after 2020. And we didn't know why, because it was U.S. aid. And I didn't know about USA till 2024 when it was discovered. 7,001, Eduardo. 7,001. How do you say 7,001 in your language? Say it again. Okay. Portuguese is 7,000,000. 7,000,000. 7,001 Canadian influencers were getting U.S. aid through AdSense. So AdSense or U.S. aid will choose the selected people, and then U.S. aid will pay through AdSense to layer the money through to the influencers that showed up after 2020 to tell us what we already know. Go ahead.
I wonder how much of that money Canadian Anti-Hate Network got. Bernie Farber.
Oh, I don't know.
And their ilk and those, because they set up all these protesters. I'm sure they're getting other money from George Soros.
Oh,
I remember
100%.
they're pissed off because they didn't get paid by George Soros. They said, "Where's our money?"
Yeah.
So that's Antifa for you.
Yeah. So
they're selling out their country, their lives, their future for a couple dollars now.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, it's kind of sad, but you know what? Hopefully, they're not buying gold and silver.
Oh no. Now, if you look at a lot of those influencers that showed up after 2020, they're always picking sides on a war. They're always picking sides specifically. You could almost fine-tune them. They have 250,000 followers in 6 months, a year. They have all this stuff, all the swag, and they're holy Ginny, the Gino is here. Oh my God, look at him, he's live. It's like, who the hell is that? Where was he 10 years ago when it mattered. There's all these people, Eduardo, doing all these condo crash in Toronto. Look what's happening, folks. It's like, where were you 10 years ago warning people that this is a trap? You're competing with Chinese money laundering. It's a trap. But everyone called me fat when I told them that.
Well, if you're looking at money laundering, have you seen the videos coming out how they're protesting in Albania against government corruption?
Yes, Albania and one more. There's one more country. It was Albania and was one more in Europe. There was one more country that was actually going hard this week.
Moldova?
I don't know. It was one more, and they were going heavy about against corruption. And right now, did you see the article we were reading? That there's 40 corrupt people in the Ukraine Senate?
Oh, there's a lot more than that.
Well, there's 40 of the main ones. Right? That's why that what's that lady's name that everybody hates in Canada? Went over there to do to make sure the money laundering is being cleaned. What's her name?
Oh, the wild witch of the West.
Yeah. So
Freeland.
Yeah, Freeland went over to we made that short. I hope you saw that short where she went over there to make sure to have eyes on that money laundering that Canada's bringing over to Ukraine to get it bounced back to Canadian politician accounts, right?
Well, of course, that's why she's a advisor financially to another corrupt SOB. But anyways, people keep thinking, oh, it's the people. It's the people. No, it's the government. It's always the government. Was under Joe Biden, your buddy. He let in all these illegal aliens.
My buddy, that guy's a piece of trash. I told you guys that Joe Biden was wandering the White House, humming and hawing and shitting his pants, and White House aides cleaning his shit. I was telling you guys that guy's a piece of junk. That guy shouldn't be there. But again, it was we called it Obama's third term. Somebody's saying it was Serbia and Azerbaijan have been seeing civil unrest too. I want to add one more thing real quick before we jump into something else. 2026 is going to be the year where it's going to be a bad year for Islam too. Islam's on the fall too. Ooh, everything's happening at once. Everything's happening at once.
Yep, world wars. Another reason to buy gold. Gold always goes sky high during wars, unrest, civil unrest. And then you're thinking, yeah, but it's going to crash down when peace comes. Peace ain't coming for a while, guys. You got you heard all the narratives and all the stories changing at the World Economic Forum. And do you notice that not a lot of people are paying attention to it because they don't give a shit? I think a lot of people are starting to wake up, but not enough, that all the problems we have in the world are caused by governments. And the governments is what you do or what you use, that gang or mafioso. Mafia is
again, sweetheart. These are bureaucrats, unelected bureaucrats is what they are. You know that. Nobody voted these people. If these people had to vote to get voted into these positions, they wouldn't win. If these people opened their own business on their own dime, they'd go bankrupt within a week.
Yeah. So like all the people I've met when in my travels have all been awesome. So I can't say, oh, the Italians are lousy or the Greeks are lousy or the Argentinians are lousy or the Mexicans are lousy. I cannot say that honestly, because the vast majority of people I meet are decent, honest people. They just want to live their life, enjoy their families, enjoy their life, do some work, build a little bit of a nest egg. And then you got the damn governments thinking, oh, how can we steal this from these people and control them to take even more of their money? Mm-hmm. That's what we're dealing with. And what I loved is, it was just a few weeks ago, Carney said they're putting the federal pensions for all federal workers into the general coffers. Thinking, yes, they're not going to have a pension. I love it. You voted these idiots in. Now you get to eat your cake.
Yeah.
And enjoy it too. On the sidewalk, on the street, in the cold. That's what's coming for them. The useless eaters.
Cassandra saying selected, not elected. Yes, Cassandra, we coined that term. According to ChatGPT, we coined the term these people are selected, not elected. Back in 2015, we during the Clinton, what was it? The Clinton CNN Clown News Network, Clinton News Network video we did. That got me in a lot of trouble, actually, by the way. But anyways, let's continue, Eduardo. You go ahead. Give us some more.
So anyways, we got to keep focusing on educating the people that our government hates us. We're the sheep that they're going to steal from.
But you got to remember the government needed us to build this country.
I think we've built enough, quite frankly. And if you get the world population down to 500 million, you don't need that many people to maintain what's there. So, hey, you guys got any snow where you are?
Not me. There's no snow here.
We had like a foot out at Pearson Airport and down by the lake.
I heard
So,
a thousand plus flights were canceled.
yeah. So I don't know what's going on with that, but Pearson usually has snow removal under control. I know people that work for him. I'm surprised that they actually cancel that many flights. But it is what it is. People in Cuba got to spend an extra day on holidays.
Yeah, if they're stuck
Nothing
in
wrong
Cuba,
with that. A bunch of pilots had a day off, much needed.
Mm-hmm.
But the poor flight attendants that work for peanuts, they're going to be hurting because they lost that day of work.
How do you say peanuts in your language?
I can't remember. Leśnike, which are hazelnuts.
Okay.
Kostan, which is chestnut. Why, you want to learn Slovenian now?
I don't know. I just want to learn a few words. In Portuguese, peanuts are mean-dwien. Mean-dwien.
They're not very common in Slovenia. You don't see peanuts very often. It was a weird term, but I'm kind of fluent. I was born here, remember? I only practice when I go there on holidays, and everyone says I speak so well. I says, well, not really. I get the gist of a conversation.
Somebody brought up something in the comments that even a homeless guy with one gold coin, or even a homeless guy with $20, a homeless guy with $20 has more than most Canadians because they're so indebted. They, especially ones that own property. Now, they're saying, Eduardo, that 2019, 2018, and 2017 gains are completely wiped. Gone. So even if you bought in 2016 and you didn't tap into your line of credit, you're going to lose that gain, or that equity that you built up for your retirement is gone, wiped. And if people use their homes like ATM machines, like 98% of them did, to buy food, to keep up with the Chinese money laundering and the food inflation, screwed. You owe more money than what you're worth.
Yep. And then you're like this. They got you where they want you.
Yep.
So how do you think you're going to own nothing and be happy? See where it's going?
I see where it's going, sweetheart. And it's going to get worse, SA. I think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets any better, like you said. But someone in the comments says that peace and prosperity doesn't make money for the evil people.
That's true. You've got 1991. What was that vice president? He was head of that company that supplied the military with base camps and toilets and food, and Halliburton. Remember them?
Yeah, that piece of crap. What's his name? That owned it. Yeah. I did a whole video on this back on my previous YouTube channel that got deleted before 2012 about that guy. One of the neocons there in the States that had that company, and they were charging $3,000. Huh?
Dick Cheney.
Donald Rumsfeld.
Was it Donald Rumsfeld?
Yeah, an oil filter for a truck, $6,000. To change the oil on a Humvee, $14,000. It was all money laundering. It was all bullshit. Yeah.
And this is why they take you to war, so they can get richer.
Yep, well, that's what it is. Right? Yeah. It's all
I don't
bullshit.
think there's... How many Canadians do you think, even the ones that haven't woken up, how many of those even want to go to war?
Well, that's why, I made a bold video back in the day where saying, well, you fight for Canada, right? What are you going to fight for, right? You're on Crown land. And especially the people that are able fighters, like the European stock expansion, what are they fighting for here? They're not welcome here. They keep making these groups to go against the Catholics, right? So going against us, the Christians, or the founding fathers of the country, they're finding ways to shut us down. So what's the point? What are you fighting for here? What are you going to go fight for? For Chinese to protect Chinese interests in Canada?
Yeah, it's kind of neat how the Chinese sneak in here, and one of their tactics is to become a Canadian, and then they infiltrate our parliament systems, our banks, as you see obviously on the streets.
Yeah,
and control the money. It's a big thing of control. And again, this brings us back to gold and silver. When they shut down your bank account, how are they going to shut down the gold you got sitting under your mattress? How are they going to shut that down? People are saying, oh, but I can't really spend it. When gold and silver go sky high, people prefer to take gold and silver than monopoly money, and all these debts. All the money is created out of thin air. It's not backed by anything.
It's not backed by anything. There's no trends. It's the back.
It used to be
with the
100
Bretton
years
Woods.
ago.
With the Bretton Woods, it was backed by gold, and the Portuguese escudo was backed by gold. It was all gold-backed currency, and the Bretton Woods went off the Bretton Woods in 71, 72, and I believe there's no proof of what I'm saying, but I believe they went off that gold system because it was too expensive to go to war. The Vietnam War was too expensive, and they couldn't have a gold-backed currency going into war. That's my opinion. It's not written anywhere. It's never been said before, but we've been saying this on this channel. They went off the gold standard because the war was it's too expensive to go to war on a gold-backed currency.
No, I heard this 20, 30 years ago already. So, but hey, what are you going to finance a war with gold? Which is real asset with no counterparty
Well, the Roman
asset?
Empire did that, and they lost everything.
Yeah. Well, that's what's going to happen now.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you guys think silver at 160 an ounce is too expensive, it ain't. It's going a lot higher. And put whatever you can in it. Some people are saying invest money in silver and gold bullion only if you want to keep it. Whatever you can afford to lose, put it elsewhere.
Yeah.
So my dad always said he never bought stocks ever. Ever. He says, what am I buying? A piece of paper.
You can't feel it. If you can't feel it, if it's like we had a big saying on the channel, it's got to be minted, not printed, right?
Yeah. And then, but if you got the gold, it always has intrinsic value. Even if the economy crashes, stock market falls 80% like 1987. Remember that Black Monday or Black Friday or whatever it was?
Yeah.
Gold only pulled back about 15 or 20% when that happened. And then within a couple months, it was back right where it was and then kept going higher since. Sure, flattens out, it plateaus. Silver spikes like crazy sometimes every 10 or 15 years. But this time it's different, guys. We've been they haven't had enough silver to supply industry for the last 5 years. We're using up more silver than is being produced.
Yep.
And before these silver mines come online, minimum 2 or 3 years. It ain't going to happen any quicker than that. So whatever rises the next 2 years is almost guaranteed. Almost guaranteed. There's always that outlier that could crash the price, but it usually bounces back up. And if you think they've been manipulating the price of silver for the last 150 years,
well,
they've lost control now.
Well, they have to. They have to do that. They have to keep us in check, just like everything else. They control our food. They control everything. But I wanted to let you know something, Edward. I want to go back to a topic we brought up earlier in the conversation. I think it's very important, okay? You said something about, the Chinese, they come in, they infiltrate, and they become part of the system, right? Now, What if I was to tell you that the migrant centers that have been bringing in the Indians were Chinese dominance? If you look at the board and the panels, and MAID, MAID in Canada, assisted suicide? If you look at the panels and you look at the people's faces on the panels, there's not a single Canadian sitting on any one of those panels. Not even one Canadian sitting on those panels that are working towards MAID and Canadian-assisted suicide. You look at the panel and the faces of the people behind it, you're like, there's one Canadian guy and everybody else is Chinese or Indian. So that's how they get us, Eduardo. I'm going back to what you said earlier. They come in, they work at the banks, they work in the finance. They don't build the bank. We build the bank, but they go and work at the bank. And then our people stay outside homeless, begging for money outside the bank.
So if you're your own bank and you're holding gold and silver, it's true money. Paper is only currency. There's a big difference. People got to get that through their head. It's a hard concept to grasp. People keep thinking, oh, a dollar bill, that's money. No, it's just currency. It's just monopoly money.
Someone asked a question, Eduardo, where will the war start and how, in your opinion? The war started years ago. It's been a war on the mind, right? For the last 20, 30 years. It's been a war on the mind, right? To shape and prep people and massage people into. It's been a war on the mind for years, right? There shouldn't be people in this country there shouldn't be oppressed communists in this country. Why? We fought communism. We fought all this, and then what, to bring them in to take us over? It makes no sense, Eduardo. People keep calling me a racist, and like, Call me whatever the hell you want. It gets to a point where people are going to be, there's going to be civil unrest, and there's going to be fights at food banks because people can't afford to eat because of the oppression that was brought in and the takeover that was brought in. They started with the real estate through money laundering. Fentanyl comes in from China. We're completely screwed.
Which leads me to another thing. So you say communism. Why should we? Well, how does communism come in? You get people working for the civil service.
Yep.
You get good wages. 40, 50 years ago, you had a government job. You had good job security. You made a little bit less than the people in the private sector. But you'd have a decent pension. You were able to live a decent life. You didn't get rich on it. My, how times have changed. All those six-digit incomes.
Six-figure
those are all
incomes.
government workers.
Yep. Yeah.
It's not the electrician or the short order cook or the waitress that's making that kind of money. They're stealing their.
It's like when Mitch Madden came on the show last year. Mitch Madden came on and said back in his time when he was living in Oregon or San Francisco, wherever he was living, that the people that made it got on the corporate ladder and made it and rose up and became CEOs and worked. And then the people that couldn't make it through the corporate ladder opened their own business, right? Because America at that time was the land of opportunity. You open your own business, you flourish, you grow, you pay your taxes, you move ahead, right? And he says the people that were considered like the losers or the bottom end were the people that couldn't get on the corporate ladder, couldn't open their own business, ended up working for the government. And that was like the bottom tier, right?
Yep. And now they all voted in Mark Carney and these liberal communists. I don't know why we even call them liberals. They're communists, clearly.
Yeah.
And NDP, it's all the same thing. Look at the former leader of the NDP. He got in. They didn't call an election just so that he can get his pension. That was one of the deals they must have made. Kept Trudeau in power for so long.
Mm-hmm.
So he sold out you guys that are voted for the Labour Party because they're thinking they're protecting the little guy. Bullshit. They just want to pad their own pockets. And if you don't see it, well, people don't like to believe what they've been taught. Like we used to be a high trust society, and some people still believe in government, think government's going to fix them. They're lazy. And
I don't think they're lazy, Eduardo. I don't think they're lazy. I think they just don't know how to lead themselves.
Well, they're not taught that in school. Like they don't teach home ec. They don't teach auto shop repair in schools. They don't teach home economics or home ec. And the sad part is, I don't know if I had this conversation with you in prior shows, but I remember going to school. I was a solid C student in high school. Advanced courses, but a solid C student. Go into construction, I'm working out there, and then have that snowmobile accident. I go in for retraining. I go back to college. How am I winning awards, academic awards? How? I was a shit student.
Yeah. And
I'm winning academic awards? Really?
Again, because the education got dumbed down.
They got dumbed down, yeah, big time. That's why the young kids now, they're, my nieces and nephews, okay, you got an engineering degree. You should be proud of yourselves. Well, I hate to break the news to you guys, but I probably learned the stuff you learned in 3 or 4 years university in grade 13, engineering graphics. Because we're studying engineering tables, load beams, all that kind of stuff. And I don't even know if those guys know how to apply that stuff.
Let me ask you something real quick here. There was in the news cycle today that Mark Carney now, with the Chinese EVs, are going to make Canada more affordable. Can you maybe give us an insight on what he means by that? Because I speak English, but I don't understand English. So I don't know what he's saying, that these Chinese EVs is going to make life more affordable in Canada. I just have to say mafangulo, but go ahead.
Okay, so with the high tariffs, EVs would have been double the price when Mark Carney would go buy them. But now that they've lowered the tariff down to 5%, he's getting that same EV for 55%.
Oh, you're talking about the EVs where his company is making the batteries for?
You know what? Wouldn't surprise me because this guy.
We checked it out. We made a video about this like 5 weeks ago. So
Could you explain to people what conflict of interest is and why it's so important?
it's spelled Canada.
No, it's Chinada.
Shinada.
There you go.
Shinada.
So conflict of interest. If I'm an elected government official or a bureaucrat, if I can gain any way financially, or my family can gain financially from the legislation or the contract that's put out there, I should recuse myself. Just like if I'm a leftist judge and I've got a right-leaning person coming in and say I'm pro-life, pro-death, and it's a pro-life court case, because I have a bias and it benefits my agenda, I should recuse myself. I should not allow myself to judge this case. If I'm a prime minister and I buy 100 million vaccinations for the country.
Oh, like
and
JT
then,
did. We covered that JT thing. Let me go real quick over JT, Justin Trudeau. Now, let me tell you guys. So that
yeah, but you know how much he was making money off every single jab.
No, but the thing is, let me explain to you how Justin Trudeau did this. That guy's smart. He waited for Friday when the market closed to make it an announcement that he bought 100 million Pfizer or whatever doses, right? 100 million or whatever it was. But he waited for the market to close to make that announcement because he already purchased his stock 3 days before with Pfizer and that other one that Bill Gates had that went 10 times in value. Bionets or whatever it was. And then Bill Gates sold his stock at 10 times the value and went on a speaking tour in Brussels in 2023 to say the vaccine didn't work and it was just a trial. So...
Well, it was a trial. It was emergency use only, hadn't been tested, and they had all kinds of loopholes saying we haven't tested this properly, we can't be held responsible. But if you really want it, we'll give it to you.
And we were getting banned everywhere. We couldn't even stay on Odyssey. We got banned off of Rumble. We would get, my God, what a nightmare we went through with this mic in the night. What a nightmare.
I was getting 25,000 views doing Kevin's show. And
you're lucky. I couldn't even get 40 people watching me because we were so heavily in the basement, in the bottom of the,
That's across 5 or 6 platforms, though. But anyways, we're getting good viewership now. We hardly get anything.
Mm-hmm.
I could do my show. If I get 150 views, I'm impressed. And that's on my replacement account, where I'm a female with the wrong birthday. The wrong birth year, right?
Yeah.
So
how does it feel to be in the epicenter of housing losing $400,000 of its value in the last 6 months?
I'm okay with it because I knew it was coming. I was saying there's got to be a shakeup. I thought 2008 was going to rock the prices back to normal, and it didn't.
Yeah.
The prices just kept going up and going up and going up, and I says, man, this is going to break one day, and it's going to break large.
And 2010, we're supposed to see a correction during the 2010 Olympics in Vancouver. We were covering that back then on our previous channel. There's going to be a correction, guys. 2010, housing is already 18 times the annual income. It's got to... No! 2010 hit! Bring in your money, China, through the Vancouver model. Bring in trillions of dollars. Make a $40,000 piece of shit house worth $3 million. Now Canadians are starving now.
Well, I had a buddy of mine. He's from Vietnam, and I met him in St. Clair College back in '98.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, they moved out to Vancouver. I think it's Vancouver. It could be Victoria. So, Ed, what do you think of the real estate market? Says, Tham, I can't believe it's still charging ahead. I can't believe the prices are still going up, 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 up. I couldn't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I witnessed the 74 real estate correction. I witnessed the 81 real estate correction. I witnessed the 1991 real estate correction was a bad one.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time I was out of work in 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, a month earlier, I had 5 guys working for me full time. So I've been through these cycles, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's why I bought my house in '96. I bought it at the bottom of the market for December '96. $165,000 on a quarter acre lot in Markham. Mind you, I have to put 70 grand into it to make it livable. It's pretty rough, but still, it's only into me for $250,000. But back then, taxes weren't sky high.
Yeah, taxes
Wages
were.
were wages were still decent.
Yeah.
Interest rates were around 3.5%, 4%. So
Mhm.
it was a good time to buy.
Yeah. That's
But
that's when the times were good. That's when people looked out for each other. The neighborhoods were good. You had block parties. It was now all the nightclubs in Toronto are all closing. It's because the Europeans are not going there anymore. The Europeans built those parties. The Europeans with the Euro music and the disco and all that. It was really good. But now they're dying because you don't have that presence anymore, right?
well, it's disposable income. It's all being taxed away.
Yeah. No. But the Europeans, we're disappearing from Canada is what I'm saying, Eduardo. We're disappearing. We're leaving. We're getting deported or whatever. We're dying off. We're being replaced, right? So
I don't know. Let's see what. Yeah, we're definitely being replaced. No question about it. That's why you see these groups with hanging banners over the highway saying remigration now and such. And Indian trucks kill Canucks. You've seen those yet?
yes, I've seen those. Yes.
Yeah, so I know the guys that came up with that idea. And it's a great slogan.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta find.
Cassandra Mitchell saying, I remember when 3-bedroom townhouse in Ottawa was $1,295 in the West End back in 2013.
When I first got into new construction, would have been 85, 86. I was grossing about $1,500 a week, so about $400 would go to taxes, leaving you $1,100 left over.
Mm-hmm.
You could buy a brand new house in the East End of Scarborough for $99,999 at 5% interest.
At 5%, a 5-point VIG.
So something like that. It's just around 5 or 6%.
Hmm.
That's when they first started coming in with 10% down, and then it went to 5% down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 83, 84, 85, $100,000. You can buy a brand spanking new house.
Well, because wages and incomes were tied to real estate prices, not Chinese money laundering, right? So
Yep.
once you start bringing in the bidding wars and the artificial shortages, and I even had a guy that wanted to sue me when I was in Vancouver. I went to a bidding war on a live stream, and there was Chinese people with phones looking at the house and then looking at the guy on the phone, and the guy doesn't even, not even in Canada, and they're bidding up the property. So the house, it even made headlines. The house was listed for $740, okay? And I went to check this out in person, and the house ended up selling for $1.6 million over asking. And it was just money laundering.
So in many countries, if you're a foreigner, you're not allowed to buy property, eh?
Again, we had Canada back in 2012. We made a video about the mirrored immigration policy. So if a Canadian went to China to try and buy a house, what happens? They'll tell you to go fuck off. So the same thing with China comes to Canada. We just mirror their policies. We're not being racist. If a Canadian goes to China with this and this and that, and then he ends up getting arrested, then if a Chinaman comes to Canada and then does the same thing, he'll get arrested, type of thing. It's a mirrored immigration policy. So whatever Mexico does with us, if we need a visa to go to Mexico, then the Mexican will need a visa to come to Canada. We just copy their system and mirror it to protect us. That's
So-
very simple.
What you're talking about is called reciprocity. That's the term you're looking for, not mirroring, reciprocity.
I don't know what the hell that means, but all I was saying is a mirrored event, or a mirrored policy where we copy their policies for us.
Yeah, reciprocal.
Okay.
So that's what reciprocity is all based on. And I remember there was a political movement that was starting about 6 years ago, where people talking about reciprocity and how government needs to change to a reciprocal values.
But it's so perfect, because let's say your Canadian driver's license in Mexico is valid for 30 days. Then a Mexican driver's license in Canada will be valid for 30 days. We just followed like that. It's perfect. It's so simple.
It's a decent thing to do, and it roots out a lot of corruption.
Yeah.
And
Right
it
now,
makes
housing you could buy a house for
Hang
100
on.
grand in Canada if all that Chinese launder money didn't come in. And people are like, 100 grand, Mike, you're crazy. Yeah, because the taxation's going up. So you have less money to spend to buy a house.
You know what? I can't argue with you there. And the thing about reciprocity, it forces people to be responsible for their own actions.
Right.
So, with reciprocity, if you screw somebody else, you should expect to be screwed back the same way. It's kind of like an eye for an eye
Yeah.
political system.
So,
And accountability is the biggest problem we have in this country. No one's held accountable anymore.
well, on the political and public servants, a lot of them are not held accountable. A lot of these journalists and mainstream media, these people are on the. A lot of these people are on the hook for murder, but they're on the hook for murder.
Yep. And then even the cops. So there's a lot of bad cops out there. There's a few good ones, but there's a lot of bad ones out there.
Yeah.
And they're not going to rat out. They're not going to rat out the blue line. They can't because they'll probably get shot because they know these guys are dirty as hell. So they're kind of tied into that too.
Mm-hmm.
And their hands are tied. What are they going to do? They want to do the right thing, but they can't. I'm sure they try, but if Olivia Chow says, "Oh, you go and you go beat up Canadians," okay, great. We'll take care of the problems. Or if somebody's recording a town council meeting, you go kick them out. You violate their charter, their fundamental freedoms that are guaranteed in the Constitution. Don't worry, we'll take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and everything in between, right?
Mm-hmm. So Ravens is saying in the Ravens VC1 is saying, I owned an EV for 6 months. Worst thing I ever. Always waiting on the charge.
Well, hang in there. Another couple of years, Samsung will be releasing their silver ion metal halide something or other battery, and you'll get that 15-minute charge to 95%. It's coming.
Yeah.
What I want to know is with all the AI, where the hell's the electricity going to come from?
Well, we're going to have to ask Al Gore.
Al Gore's going to say, "Oh, it's climate change."
Yes, but we need Al Gore because without Al Gore, Florida would have been underwater, and that piece of crap was projecting Florida to be underwater by 2012, and he bought a oceanfront property. Okay.
Oh, Obama and his boyfriend Michael.
No, not Obama. Al Gore was preaching Florida be underwater by 2012, and that piece of shit went to go buy a house on the oceanfront property in Florida.
Again, guys, it's the government. They're always lying to us. How long is it going to take till you figure it out? How long till your friends and parents and family and kids figure out the government is not your friend? They're just the worst form of the mafia. They're stealing our money. That's all they do. Make life brutal for us. Divide us. Get us fighting amongst each other.
Yep.
Divide left versus right. Meanwhile, Carney's going on the backside, and conflict of interest galore. He will be known as the prime minister who perfected conflict of interest avoidance in the Canadian government. And of course, that's going to pass down. It's going to go down the rank and file too, right? So mayor's conflict of interest won't be an issue either.
Right.
And if you raise that issue, they'll kick you out of the town council, or they won't let you speak, or they'll edit it out of the YouTube videos. You got to take the payola, man. That's the way the system works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do you think everyone's protesting about the corruption? Governments have not been accountable. And they've changed the meaning of service. Like Service Ontario, bend over, let us service you.
Yep.
Whereas before it meant, let's see if we can give you the best possible outcome for the few dollars we're going to charge you. And protect you and protect their interests and make the population better and life better. That's all gone.
Yeah.
It's dog eat dog. Let's steal as much money as we can from the other people that are not working for the government. And that's the bottom line.
Yep.
You going to trust these gangsters? Oh, speaking about gangsters, did you guys talk about how Venezuela does not have a Rothschild bank?
No, we talked about that's been covered years ago. That's over, and when I did it in one of my shorts, and I discussed how American government policy in 1930, whatever it was, went into Venezuela and started dictating what they had to do. And that Venezuela was one. Watch my shorts. Go back and watch my Go to my channel, type in Venezuela, watch my shorts. I go through a history lesson in that one that teaches people how basically if Venezuela's major export was fava beans, they wouldn't be in the situation they are in. So.
Well, just for those that don't know, Venezuela nationalized their banks. Was it 8 or 10 years ago? And that's what put them on the radar for getting invaded or, changing the government, because at the end of the day, all the banks have to be Rothschild banks.
Yep. And the gold back wars. Watch our gold. Did you watch my gold back war video I keep telling you to watch all the time?
No.
Watch my gold back war. Watch the gold back wars. It talks about everything you're talking about. That's very important that you watch the gold back wars, because that makes a lot of sense, and it ties in a lot of things that today, that kind of why we're seeing what we're seeing today. But I'll leave a link to the gold back wars in the live stream chat there for you guys to watch. All right, Eduardo, any final words?
People were asking, where's the next war going to be? Who's left that does not have a Rothschild bank? And I'd say it's Iran.
The war's in our minds, brother.
Well, we're talking shooting war here, right?
We're talking a fight to the knife. Okay.
Yeah. So this is why Iran has to go to war. They have to have unrest so that they can get a Rothschild bank. They want to denationalize the bank and put it in a Rothschild bank, and they'll tell you all kinds of lies to get what they want to get done.
Yep.
So it's a banksters, Israel, USA, do it.
Yeah.
And they'll get it done.
Something will come through.
Yeah. The Rothschilds will get their bank. They'll be able to print money and enslave the population the same way.
It's like the American Civil War, the North and the South. The South didn't want to be part of the banking system. They didn't want to be part of the Crown. They didn't want to be part of the Red Shield or whatever they were called. And the North said, well, we're going to go to war with the South. The South created their own currency, the Confederacy currency. And then they went to war. And the Irish came over to win that war for the North, right? So it's all about the Crown. It's all about paying that money back to the Rothschilds, wherever they are in Europe. You know what I'm saying? So
it's got nothing to do with the Dukes of Hazzard?
No, sir.
It's got nothing to do with slavery?
No, it was actually about the Crown. It was about money. It was about economic expansion. It was about the North, basically. And then why did the North hold slaves 7 years longer than the South?
I don't know, Mike, but Black Lives Matter is going to put a hit on us for talking about this publicly.
I have a whole documentary discussing this.
Yeah. And you wonder why nobody likes you.
Well, no one's supposed to like me, because I'm here to tell you what you have to hear, not what you want to hear.
Yeah. All right, Mike.
God bless
later.
You.
Have a good one. Ciao.
All right, folks. That is our boy Eduardo here on Mike in the Night, working hard to make a difference here on the show. And let me give you guys the link to that documentary, Goldback Wars. Goldback Wars is a very important documentary that explains the situation that we are in. And I think it's very important that you guys see Goldback Wars. So I'll tell you how to find Goldback Wars. You go to the channel here on YouTube, you go all the way down, and you fast forward, right? Where is it? Military Order of Christ. Go here, Goldback Wars. This video right here. So you have to refresh. We are being blocked in 64 countries right now, folks. So, so here it is, Goldback Wars. You're going to want to... All right. That video is dedicated to Lord Humongous. Yeah. Robert Keegan, Lord Humongous. This video is dedicated to him. All right. Let me see if I could find... okay, guys. Mike in the Night 634. Don't forget to join our mail list, MikeMartins1980@gmail.com. Go ahead and email me there, and I can put you on our mail list so you don't miss an episode of Mike in the Night. MikeMartins1980@gmail.com. So go ahead and do that. And don't forget to buy me a coffee, guys. Thank you to our... we got a donation from Lenny Poo for a coffee, and we got a major donation. Wow, a major donation. I'm not going to say his name, but I'll say his first name. It's Walter. Thank you, Walter, for the coffee, buddy. Thank you very much for the coffee. Okay, so, and guys, don't forget that Mike in the Night is 21 and older. Viewer discretion is advised. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Fact check and do your own research. Section 18 U.S. Code, number 2257. And you are tuned in to Mike in the Night. All right, guys. Right. All right. I'm just looking at the all right, we're going to get another caller in. Nobody panic. Nobody panic. Next caller coming up right now.
Staring at the bottom of your glass, hoping one day you'll make a dream last. The dreams come slow and they go so fast. Well, you see it when you close your eyes. Maybe one day you'll understand why. 'Cause everything you touch, it surely dies. Well, you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow.
You are tuned into
Only
Mike in the
know
Night,
you
the voice of
love
the
her
Commonwealth.
when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when
Hello.
Jackie?
Yes. Hi, Mike.
Hi, welcome to Mike in the Night, episode 634. How are you tonight?
Pretty good. How are you?
You know how it is. You win some, you lose some.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear you're doing well and keeping warm. Yeah, it's chilly down here, and but definitely no snow, so I'm happy.
Yeah, no snow. Yeah, I got no snow either.
That's
So,
awesome.
so what do you got for us? You were pretty active in the comments, and you sent me quite a few Instagram messages covering a few things. And
Yeah, I just had a question, or I just wanted to kind of point something out, which I think maybe your other callers and other folks in Canada might have noticed, but just the interesting action with Mr. Carney.
Mhm.
Carney, he went to China and he talked about the New World Order.
Right, that's correct.
And he
Yes,
mentioned that during his speech in front of all these Chinese delegates.
that's correct. Yes.
And then, he goes to Davos and gives that great speech that the Canadian media outlines, that he did this great speech and talks about the change of the guard, essentially. And, it pokes the bear, it pokes the U.S.
That's the whole
And,
point of it. It's the de-dollarization. Did you watch my shorts on that?
No, I didn't see the shorts on
Oh
that.
God, you got to see. I'm shadow banned. You got to go. When you get a chance, just go on the YouTube where you're on. Go to the short little tab on my channel. Watch back my shorts. They're only 2-minute videos, and you'll get into the whole Carney thing. A lot of content creators took my word salads and discussions and perspectives on that, and actually made entire videos of that. What I was talking about. So
Oh, okay.
you want to get it from a back source, from further back, and kind of see where the origination is happening with this, right? Because back in November 2022, we told you guys a man named Mark Carney will become your next prime minister. And we made that very clear that he was the Bank of Canada governor by Bank of Canada that laundered billions of dollars in from China. And he went to the Bank of England and did the same shit. He's the only guy that made any sense to me to protect Chinese communist interests in Canada. The Chinese control the fentanyl war, the fentanyl that's wiping out Canadian youth and families. And the Chinese control the real estate market with $2.4 to $2.6 trillion laundered through our real estate. So Mark Carney is, you don't have to be you don't have to look like a Chinaman to be a Chinaman, right? So he's basically there to make sure that China is taken care of, right? Even though 71% of our trade goes to America and we are clothed and fed because of the America, we are trading partners with America. That 71% creates an incredible amount of jobs, and it keeps our people, again, fed and clothed, right?
And Carney's an intelligent guy, which begs me to question, all of his antics. So he gives this great speech in Davos, and then immediately leaves and doesn't wait around to listen to Trump's speech, which is scheduled for the next day. So, like in Parliament, he runs away. He's scared to debate, so he runs away. Trump loses it. Essentially, he's not too happy with Canada and with Carney's speech, and then makes various, comments and threats on Twitter like, hey, you guys better, do this, do that, so on and so forth. And Twitter's been entertaining watching Trump's tweets. And now, of course, Carney backs down and says, no, we're not going to do any sort of trade agreement with China because it basically goes against the agreement we've signed with the U.S.
Again, I prefer to keep our 71% trade open with the U.S. than whatever the Chinese money laundering that's coming in and keeping our housing market up. I'd rather again trade with the U.S. and be in NORAD and joint military with the United States, right? The United States, their citizenry are the most armed citizens in the world, and I'd rather be neighbors to a country where the people have 6-7 guns to their name to protect their constitution by the people for the people. I'd rather be neighbored to a country like that than being neighbor to a communist country, right? So and for years we've been saying, for years, going back 10, 15-year-old videos saying, America, wake up. Canada is your threat, not Iraq. Because a lot of criminal organization was using Canada as a stepping stone to get into America or get at America, right? Whether it's the fentanyl coming in from China through the western seaboard and making its way south of the border into the U.S., or you get where I'm saying, what I'm getting with this.
Or
right?
terrorists going into the U.S. from Canada.
Yes.
So on and so forth. Yeah.
Yes. So we are a big, major security risk for Americans is Canada. Not me and you, right? My dad worked on the Sky Dome project. My dad came from Portugal. He worked on the Air Canada Center. My dad came to build this country. We didn't come here to be a threat, right? But now it's a complete gong show here. It's Canada is I don't know. I'm missing a puzzle. I'm missing the pieces of the puzzle. But Canada, our election system is a complete fraud, right? And yeah, I'm very, very disappointed what's happened in the last 20 years in this country. And it's progressively getting worse. And it's speeding up in inflation destruction, I'm calling it. I'm not calling it inflation money destruction or wealth destruction. Inflation destruction patterns, as in bad shit happening every 3 days. As opposed to, you remember 10, 15 years ago, bad shit would happen once a year, once every 2 years? And it's happening every other week now.
Right. Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Crime has gone up. Theft has gone up immensely. And, people are having a hard time feeding themselves when you've got outrageous grocery prices. So, listening and watching Carney and all of these interesting comments that he's making, I mean, he's a smart guy, and I'm thinking to myself, why in the hell is he poking the bear? I feel that there may be an election called, and I think he's trying to, do the same thing that he did in the previous election, which is get the support of all these boomers who believe the orange man is bad and Carney's going to protect them.
Yeah. But he has to take China's side no matter what. Carney cannot back or double back because China got him in, right?
Yes,
China got Carney elected. We covered this already during the election day where millions of Chinese nationals living in Canada were receiving emails from China saying, you better go vote Liberal now. Right? We covered that. And And they were giving out pamphlets in Vancouver, in downtown Vancouver, with a liberal badge next to the communist CCP party, and telling them to vote liberal because you better vote. So a majority of Chinese voted liberal. So you go look at the charts of Canada. Well, Canada only says there's like 1 million or 800,000 Chinese in Canada. No. You see how Canada works is when you become a naturalized Canadian citizen, you're no longer Chinese anymore. That's how Canada works. So we got about 6 million Chinese in Canada that vote liberal, right? And that's what's winning these and everyone's blaming the boomers. The boomers are dying off, right? And I believe it's this new founded immigration that's been coming in for the last 10, 15 years that's swaying, if it sways the election, because I still believe they're all fixed. Jackie, these elections are all fixed. They fixed the election in Canada, China, and China. Did you watch my short on how China fixed the election in Brazil for Bolsonaro?
No, but
gonna
I've
watch
heard
that
that they
one.
use Dominion in Venezuela too.
Well, Brazil was a big deal because Bolsonaro got in. Bolsonaro is not Bolsonaro. Lula is a known charged federal criminal, and nobody voted for him in Brazil. But who was backing that election? China. Why did China need Lula to win? China needed Lula to win because Lula is pro-BRICS with the Chinese.
Oh,
okay. So you start connecting the dots. Because Bolsonaro, the Donald Trump of Brazil, was pro-America, pro-Donald Trump, pro-everything, right? So China couldn't have him win. If China made that, so that they made sure that Lula won that election. And 5 months before Brazilians went to the polls, the video's up, where I'm predicting that Lula's going to win the election. And Jackie, you know how many people told me I'm retarded? No one's going to vote for that known criminal. He is a criminal in Brazil and he's going to bankrupt the country. And then 5 months later, they went to the polls and Lula won, just like I predicted.
and I just out of curiosity, do you know if they use Dominion's voting systems in Brazil?
I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know. I
Because
don't
I've
know
heard
exactly.
that they used it in Venezuela for that last election with that criminal. And I
Right.
don't know. I have to do
So
some
the
research to
woman
find
that
out.
won is the WEF puppet, right?
Venezuela?
Yeah, the woman that now is running it right now is
Oh, right now. No, the gentleman before who was arrested.
the gentleman before that was arrested. You talk about Guaido?
No. The fellow who the U.S. flew in and took out of Venezuela.
Oh, Nicolas Maduro.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the first election, Nicolas Maduro didn't steal the first election. The first election was between Falcon and Nicolas Maduro, and Nicolas Maduro won. Then America said a guy named Guaido won the election, but Guaido never ran. He wasn't on the posters, never got a vote, never nothing. You got to go back, scroll through my shorts, just watch every short. They're all 2 minutes apiece. Watch my Venezuela one about Guaido, because Guaido never ran, and they said that Nicolas Maduro stole the election from him, but he never ran.
Oh.
He wasn't on the poll. He wasn't on the ballot. He never ran. So America brings him in to America and says, this is the elected president of Venezuela. And Nicolas Maduro tried to steal the election from him. And people that knew were saying, this guy never ran. He wasn't even there. And he's a 23-degree or 32-degree Freemason, this Guaido guy that they tried to put in as president of Venezuela that never ran.
Oh, okay.
This is pretty scary shit.
Well, I from what I've gathered, this whole Dominion systems seems to kind of go around these elections. When Biden got in, when Kearney got in, and there's been allegations that it seems like it's a tool where these rigged elections or so-called rigged elections that these people get in, and Dominions always seems to be involved.
Yep. Yeah, if you go back and you start seeing all the we covered the Dominion machines system. I think it was, if I stand corrected, it was during 2017 or 2018 or 2019 we were covering this, and I actually received like a cease and desist order to stop mentioning the company. I got like a lot of paperwork
Wow.
from them to stop mentioning and going over things and basically saying they'll sue me. But this was years ago, right? This was like 4 or 5 years ago, right? But because we had someone on the show, I think it was, that worked on the software on one of those machines in Minneapolis or something, and was saying that it was 100%. But that same person was on a news article too. So he wasn't a whistleblower on Mike in the Night per se, but he was on a news article in Minneapolis. I think it was Minneapolis, or was it? I think it was Arizona, and he was saying that the machines were all recording the wrong votes. It was a big mistake, right? So.
Yeah, well, interesting times. That's all I've got to say. There's so much going on day to day. It's
Yeah, remember
definitely
before?
eye-opening.
Remember 10, 15 years ago, it was every other year or every year there's something, and it was a big deal, and we talked about it for 6 months. Now, the cool down period is 6 to 60 minutes, and something else has happened.
Exactly. It's just unreal. How many things that are going on, but it's sometimes overwhelming, but it's definitely going to be an interesting few weeks to see what plays out. I'm just watching it day by day and trying to piece it together, and it just puzzles me that we would or our government would be so hostile to the US. But yeah, just trying to make it make sense.
Well, they have to.
They have to.
Canada is basically Canada's job is to piss off the Americans. That's what they're in there. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I see your point, and it does make sense.
the Canadian proper, or the Canadian people in Canada, did not vote for this garbage. They don't want this shit, right?
Yeah,
Again,
they just want to live.
Yeah, 71% of our exports go to America. And then I made my short video that pissed off a lot of people. A lot of people hate me, Jackie, because I made a video said Canada only exists because of America. Without America, we're done. We're finished. We can't survive on 20% trade from China. We're dead. So,
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's what it just boggles my mind that I think we're in for an election in 2026 or in the
and
near
Carney
future.
will get the majority.
I hope not.
No, he will, because it's all fixed. Just like when I called the election back, the snap election in Trudeau, during the height of the pandemic, I said Canada's going to call a snap election, and Trudeau's going to win. And you know how many people even called my store to tell me I'm misinformation, I'm full of shit, and stop going online, you look like an idiot, stop telling people you're Canadian. I'm like, I'm Portuguese, I'm not Canadian. And people were really hard on me, Jackie, for a long time, saying they're not going to call a snap election on the height of a pandemic. You're a stupid idiot. Guess what they did? They called the election, and the Liberals won. 6 months later, 204,000 uncounted votes in a warehouse in Burlington, Ontario, because they used mail-in ballot bullshit, and Trudeau won. Just like I said. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I hope you're wrong. I hope he doesn't win, but we'll, we'll see what happens, right? I don't know what to say. I
So,
don't know what to say.
just thought just thought I'd let you know that. But when you get time, Jackie, look, go to the channel, go to shorts, okay? And they're only 2-minute videos. Catch up. It's going to take you 24 minutes to catch up with 12, 13, 14 videos. And you can catch up to what message I'm trying to get out, and then it kind of makes a little bit of sense, trying to wrap our heads around what's happening, right? So, anyways, anything else?
No, I just wanted to kind of point out the madness that I've noticed, that just trying to make sense of where that's all going, and what I think is where we're headed, because it makes no sense to poke the bear. And and now it makes more sense that I think, yeah, we're headed for someone who wants majority, unfortunately.
It's gonna go exactly like I'm saying. So, I'm sorry.
I hope you're wrong, but yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
So, I still remember, Jackie, when I was on a talk show in 2019. It was a finance show, and they asked me, so Mike, what are they going to do to fix this economic problem we're going through with all this problems we're having in 2019 with the world spending and money laundering and housing affordability? And my answer was, they're going to pull the trigger on a pandemic and shut it down. And then the two guests looked at each other and said, don't get this fucking guy on our show ever again. Don't get this guy ever again. They're going to pull the trigger on a pandemic to fix our economic problems, or to fix their economic problems. And they basically emailed me after and told me, like, yeah, we're not going to be using you anymore. We wanted you on 3 shows, but your answer to fix the economic problem we're having is to pull the trigger on a pandemic. That's the most retarded thing we ever heard. So,
Well, no, it's your opinion.
well,
And,
no, but
your
6 months
opinion's
later,
valid.
after I was on the show, they pulled the trigger on a pandemic.
Yeah, unfortunately they did.
So, there it is. So, yeah. Yep. Anyways. All right, Jackie, thanks for coming on, giving us an update. We'll get you on in a couple of weeks to update us. And, yeah, appreciate you calling in.
All right, have a good night.
Bye-bye. Right, we had Jackie on the show. Thanks for the call. And just checking my messages. Okay. All right, guys, this is the deal. This is how it works. So go here. Okay. And go to the channel. Go down to shorts. I'm going to do the Mark Carney speech one here. Here, Mark Carney speech right here. Content isn't available in this country. They're blocking us. At the World Economic Forum in Davos, Donald Trump didn't go there to apologize. Guys, thanks for the email. I'll give you guys my opinion on what I think. He went there to do exactly what an American president is supposed to do. He put the Canadian Crime Minister, Mark Carney, in his place, the Crime Minister of Canada. The same guy that just arrived from China, where the Chinese president told him to distance himself from the United States. Trump asserted national leverage in front of the world elites. Mark Carney tells the room that the global order is shifting, that we need power, that middle powers need protection, cooperation, and rules. Trump responds with one core message. The United States is the power that makes the order possible. When Trump says Canada lives because of the United States, that's not an insult. That's geopolitics. Canada's largest trading partner is the United States, with over 71% of Canadian exports go south of the border. Canada's defense is integrated with that NORAD. Canada's security umbrella, U.S. military power, Canada's financial stability tied directly to U.S. markets and the U.S. dollar system, the U.S. dollar reserve currency. These are not opinions. These are structural facts. Trump's argument is simple. The U.S. provides the security, the market access, the reserve currency, and the military shield. Then allies can't pretend they are equals in power, because they're not. That's not arrogance. That's balance of power realism. Yeah, that's what it's called. Balance of power realism. At Davos, Trump also repeated 3 constant positions. Trade should benefit American workers first. Allies should pay more for their defense. And the other one was the U.S. will use leverage openly, not hide behind diplomacy. And that's exactly how great powers historically operate. Not through speeches, through leverage. Whether you like Trump or not, and we keep telling you not to take sides, watch the show. The record is clear. He speaks openly about power relationships. He doesn't pretend alliances are charities. He treats geopolitics as transactions, not moral lectures. At Davos, surrounded by unelected global elites, Trump reminded them of one thing. The system still runs on American power. And everyone in that room knows it. That's not rhetoric. That's how the world actually works. We've made multiple videos over the years, the last 15 years, that Canada only exists because of America. I lived in both countries. I see how the game is played. And Americans, don't give up your guns. It's a trap. Keep your guns. When America goes dark, Canada disappears and the rest of the world goes dark. God bless America. Mike Martin's here. I have spoken. Wow, that was a good video. Wow, I'm surprised I made that video. That was a great video. All right. So go back and see my shorts, guys. Where was that Mark Carney one? De-dollarization one's here. So there it is right there, folks. Go to the shorts. This won't take you more than 30 minutes to go over 25 videos here and catch, so you guys can catch up on what's going on here on their shorts. Yeah. All right. Oh, we got Steve the Plumber here in the chat. Yes, thank you, Jackie, for calling. All right. All right, let's see who we got here. All right. Sorry, I'm just following the chat here, guys, as we go. You know, sit here for 3 hours. It's a long time, you know. Oh, we got Paul. Paul Da Silva here is on... he's on Rumble, actually. PDS10 is on Rumble. We got other people here on D-Live. And we got other people here on... where else do we got people? People are watching on Instagram. And people watching on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, can share the video so it can get out, guys. Please do me a favor and share the video on Facebook so it gets out, guys. I'm doing this for free. I don't get paid to be here. I'm not here to misinform you guys in any way possible. And if I have misinformed you guys, there's no angle or I have no angle. There's no reason for me to misinform you guys, right? If I do it by accident because of some misinformation I get, I'm sorry, right? So, all right, I'm just trying to see who else is here. General, who's in my chat here? Oh, hold on a sec. Lenny Poo messaged me earlier. Lenny Poo messaged me like a few hours ago too. And I'm just trying to see who else is in the chat here. I got a lot of people messaging me asking me if I'm going live on Saturdays on Mike of the Night. I got like 44 messages. I'm like, guys, we haven't done a Saturday Mike of the Night in over a year now. We've been doing Mondays now. Yeah. Yeah, so Nick is saying, Fortier is saying Canadians are either angry or blissfully unaware. Yeah, majority of people have no clue what the hell's going on. Mouth of the South says, I'm watching you on Pornhub, Mike. Carney wants to play dress up with world leader of a country with 35 million people. I don't think we have 35 million people in this country. Not with them using our housing as contraceptive where the locals don't have kids and bringing in people from Pakistan, India, China to replace us. We don't have 35 million people in this country. I'm sorry. I've driven across this country multiple times. Drive 8 hours, major city. 8 hours, major city. 8 hours, major city. And then 8 hours, you're already in Niagara Falls. No way. PDS 10 brought up a very good point. The only thing white in this country is the snow right now. Kimach is saying, is Supreme here? Supreme hasn't been in the comments in like, probably in 5 or 6 shows. No, 4 shows now. He was on 4 shows ago. And he hasn't, we haven't seen him in the comments in a long time. 4 weeks now. 3 weeks, 4 weeks now. Yeah, way less than 30 million. I believe there's only 18, maybe 20 million people in Canada, if that. If that. Population's all bullshit. Watch our population myth videos. We got over 40 of them up. And I'm taking population numbers from history books that were published 80 to 100 to 200 years ago, giving us complete population different numbers. Steve Stevens is saying, my blood boils when I see Carney's face and hear his voice. Yeah! He's going to rerun, and he's going to win. He's going to win the majority. They're going to get the snap election. He's going to win. I'm going to go back and show you the video. Hey, guys, we told you. And then everyone's like, Mike, nobody cares. It's like, no. Yeah, Ravens VC1 is saying if Canadians believe what Carney says, they deserve what they got. So, that's right. If you believe what he says, then go ahead. I mean, I guess you deserve what you deserve it. All right. All right, who else is here? Let me check for requests. No requests. Primary chat. Nothing. Mike in the night chat. Who else is here? What time is it? 2:15. Do we cut it early, guys? Do we cut it early? Do we cut the show early? It doesn't matter to me. If you guys want to cut it early, I'll let you guys off an hour early tonight. Let me just double check here. Yeah, guys. If you want to buy me a coffee, buy your boy a coffee. Buy your boy a coffee, guys. We only work. Thanks for the 2 coffees tonight. Lenny Poo bought me a coffee too. Then I got another coffee from someone else there. From a gentleman there, sent me a big coffee. Thank you so much. And guys, if you want to join the 99 Cent Club here, go ahead and join the YouTube 99 Cent Club. And Facebook. We are blowing up on Facebook, and I'm grateful that we're getting some traction. And Instagram, Real Mike Martins. If you guys want to, Real Mike Martins on Instagram, if you guys want to message me or join the channel or be part of the channel. Glenn, it's Real Mike Martins. Here, I'll give it to you here. We could probably have a first-time caller on the show tonight. There it is. And TikTok, if you're on TikTok, get the hell off TikTok right now. We're back in the 300 view club. We're getting tens of thousands of views on our videos, and now we're back in the 300 view club. They're doing this to us, folks, where our videos are not recommended. So they're not recommending our videos anymore. So we are basically like blacklisted on TikTok again. And we have three terminations on TikTok. Okay, who else? What else? And MikeInTheNight.org. MikeInTheNight.org takes you to back episodes of Mike in the Night, going back pretty much till we got some 2017, 2018, 2019 episodes of MikeInTheNight.org, where you can watch old episodes of Mike in the Night and listen to our callers. And artbydano.com. Guys, follow Art by Dano. Art by Dano on Instagram is his handle. Art by Dano. He's been sending me some pretty cool cartoons. And don't forget to check him out, guys. All right. All right, let's see if I have any requests. And I think Lenny Poo wanted to call in. Let me double check here. Let's see if anyone else bought me a coffee. Okay, Tio bought me a coffee. Thanks, Tio. Thank you, Walter. And thank you, Lenny, for the coffees tonight. That's good. Yeah. Someone's saying, Mike, you need cheerleaders on your show, then your vids will take off. Someone's saying, I hope you're wrong, Mike. Sandy, you've known me for years, Sandy. How many times have you known me for being wrong, Sandy? Honestly, how many times have you known me for being wrong? How many times have you known me for misleading you? Don't worry about it, Glenn. Too broke to buy myself a coffee. Don't worry about it, guys. It's just we are funded by you guys. I never took the money. Remember, I read the emails from you guys. For you guys, they were offering me. I was going to be the Joe Rogan of Canada. I said, no, thank you. It's okay. I don't need your money. Yeah, Mondays is way better, isn't it, buddy? All right, let's get to. All right, guys, send me a message. Let's see. Let's just check and see if I have any requests. I have no requests here. Message requests. I got none. Glenn wanted to call in and add me, but does Lenny Poo? You want to call in? I don't see. She's like turned off here on Instagram. Oh, there she is, right there. Someone's asking me if I spoke to the Raven lately. He called me early in the morning, and I was in the shower, so I couldn't talk to him. Then he called me back later, and I was in... where the hell was I? Oh, I was at the dump. I was running errands all day. He called me 2 times today, but I'm trying to call him back now, but it's phone tag, right? So let's get Lenny Poo. Okay, Lenny Poo's on for tonight. All right.
Bottom of your glass, hoping one day you make a dream last. The dreams come slow and they go so fast. Well, you see her when you close your eyes. Maybe one day you'll understand why. 'Cause everything you touch, it surely dies.
You are tuned into Mike in the Night, the voice of the Commonwealth.
You only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Lenny Poo, thanks for taking our call here on Mike in the Night.
Hey.
Yeah, thanks for being here tonight, being part of the channel all these years.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, what do you got for us?
What do I got for you? I mean, January just took off with a kaboom. Holy, what a month, right? Just when everything was settling in and settling down, you know? Yeah, it's getting to be the same old, and then boof. So we have big changes, a lot of things I probably can't say. I'd probably get banned, because it's real. Yep, there's a lot of shit getting real out there.
Yep. It's like the last caller, Jackie, that said, back in the day, like 10, 15 years ago, you'd have one boom, and then 8 months would go by, then another boom. Now we're having a boom every 3 days.
And it just hit. Holy, what the January was that? Had a nice little break, and then douche. So I took a break anyway. I took a great break.
Mm-hmm.
Felt great, right? Life is like, oh, wow, I'm going to ease into pretty good. But you know what? I'm excited with a lot that's happening, I must say. To me, it's the greatest show on earth.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. And it has a whole other dimension now, as you know. The Spirit Wars is beginning to really show.
It's a fight for the soul, sweetheart.
Holy shit.
It's a fight for the soul.
Yep. Sure is. I mean, we've known that, but how would you know you would see certain things unfold? And then dots join. For me, anyway. I see things, I'm like, holy shite. Holy. Yep. Lots. And it's speeding up. Right? Because if you've ever heard the term celestial speed up, that was a term long ago. But now it's just like overdrive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are a boom every 6 hours now. So it's like, it's crazy. Like, we just can't live in peace anymore. Like, if people say, what do you want to go back to, Mike? What year would you want to go back to? How would you want things to set? I just want one distraction a year. One. Just one a year, just to keep us talking for a year about something, and then move on to the next distraction next year. Not every 6 hours, every 2 days, you know?
Right? Like the good old day. No,
We knew we
So,
were
I
getting
mean-
screwed. We knew they were screwing us. We knew, but they, they kept it under the down low. They did it more like the mafia did, where, no one knows nothing. There's no existence of anything. What are you talking about? Now it's in their face.
Oh, more and more. And people adjust. And then people adjust to insanity too. Like that part is, and they actually have a side. They have a side. They really think that. And funny how it's the same ones. Like when I look at, and I'm going to use to me an obvious one. I get it. To some people, it's still not obvious. Let's just say equal ground. We know how obvious it was when you showed your Band-Aid on your arm and Virtue signaled, and you were so smart and so great. Those same people. It's this whole group of people that have these ideas, and no government's putting me against them. I'm not like that. No one had to tell me to be like this and they're like that. I'm telling you, I'm not. So it's not really a pitting. It's like a revelation. There's a lot to reveal. Who would have known people were kind of like that at their core? There's so much, oh, hi, how's it going? You didn't know up close and personal, like, right? The people's minds and thoughts and where they're coming from and the behavior and,
But it started with a slow roll, right? It started with Florida will be underwater by 2010 or 2012. It started like that. Everyone was being divided through it was called global warming. Everyone, global warming, Florida's going to be underwater. What do we do? Everywhere I went, Lenny, mechanics to wherever, everybody was a climate change expert all of a sudden. The Florida's going to be underwater because Al Gore said so. And it started like that, the divide. And then Donald Trump, oh, he's a racist. Oh, he's going to grope you. Oh, this, that, he farted. And then more divide, and then more divide. And then people were divided between politics. People were divided between culture. People were divided by religion. People were divided. They try to divide even the household as much as possible and make everyone hate each other at the household. It's gotten so bad that like you said earlier, that you're hearing things from people that you would never imagine, or things in their mind because they're being front with it. Like they think they're right, or they think they know, right?
yeah, or it's coming out what side it would be. Like we got to see who, and it's not even like they really do believe it. And I do believe that some of them truly believe. I don't know if deep down they believe it. I don't know what they really think on the inside or what they push down in themselves or what. But I think they actually think, oh no, this is the right thing to do. I am good. I am smart for thinking this way, and you guys are stupid. They really think that, just the way I really think that. Like I really think that, but I don't say it. And I actually don't, because again, as an example, and believe me, I have huge issues, stuff I swear to you, you cannot say on the air. Like, no, that is going to be a bad one. But again, keep it simple. Keep it, the injections. I mean, that's an obvious one for me, right? But I think, okay, fine. You do you. You take all you want. Knock yourself out. Have it one a day, every day. Just don't make me do that. Like you do you. It's when there's this pushing. It's when there's a real huge pushing of an agenda. That's wrong. In my opinion, it's
Again,
not just.
It started with the global warming agenda, then Donald Trump, and then one after another, and then the trust the science, right? You're going to kill grandma at a birthday. What are you doing? Right? Rachel Madcow would come on TV and say, what are you doing? You're going to go kill you? You're going to go kill you? You're going to kill someone on the bus today? Go and take your vaccine. Remember, one after another. So they created this huge divide that people are divided between alphabet, like to a letter, to the letter now. They're not even divided between Democrat and Republic or liberal and conservative. As A and B. You're divided. C and D. There's no more. It's down to the letter, Lenny Poo. We're divided too.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. But it has, now that is behind us, and it is. That's behind us. And you see what the US is doing now with the food pyramid, which is obvious health. People have known that for a long time. Anyone who's ever thought about their health or knows about their health or knows anything about nutrition knows that's proper, actually. So there's a lot of things coming out reducing the schedule, right? That's the right thing to do. Saying, like, I hear this every day again, like you said, there's so much going on. This is one little part. This is, again, I think it's okay to talk about health. Like, I'm not going to get, we'll see how the controversy goes the more we talk. But even if you say health, something nice, and how can you not want that? I mean, reducing and then saying no aluminum. They're going to take that out of the vaccines. They had to upgrade their formula. That stuff is junk. That is junk that they feed a little baby. Never mind breast milk, which you really, if they cared, honestly, that would be mandatory. You would have to do that. Yeah, you'd have to breastfeed, because that's the only thing that'll grow a human brain. Like, nowhere else on earth that exists, the amino acids and stuff they have in that. It's very natural. So, but forget being that way, right? Just saying in a normal way, at the least you could do is make the formula healthy and things like that. Feed that brain, right? Especially in a baby. So they are doing good things in that regard. And you know what? I'm like you. I also agree that it's not a big deal to have a federal law that President Trump, and maybe, he's got input from all kinds of places and it's not all his idea, but whatever he's doing, whatever that cabinet's working on, that is very good to stop immigration. I mean, how can we say that's wrong? Like, just whoa on illegal, whatever people are there illegal.
You're
and
illegal,
you know what?
you're illegal. I'm not scared of the police because I'm not a criminal.
Yeah. That's the thing. And even, like, I think that it's a huge percentage of them that they do go first is ones who not only are they there and they're not supposed to be there, but they do other crimes. That's first on their list. There might be some who go through and they're there, but they don't do crimes. But it's just an immigration thing. The guy who's not a criminal isn't going to get approached all dangerous. That's approached one way, but when they know you're some kind of gang guy or you've done bad things, they've done some of them bad things. So, you could put them in jail here. Either way, they're going to jail. That's the least they can do. So they're either going to jail here or there. Why would a government pay for someone else's jail time if you're not even our citizen? Go. How is that wrong? But okay, right? That's great. I'm glad that he's doing that, and he ran on that platform. So when you have a politician who runs on a platform, wouldn't you think they're going to carry it out? All those other politicians talked about that, or whatever.
Hillary Clinton was talking about it like 15, 20 years ago. We need to build a wall and need to this and need to do that. And then Trump says, let's build the wall. And then he's a racist, right? So it's like, it's how they pit people against each other, right? You can go back and watch you could watch Joe Biden Joe Biden back at C-SPAN in the early 80s saying we need to build a wall and we need to get these people out of the country that are illegal, right?
Everyone. But now it's happening, and there's this thing. I do believe that there is a TDS. It's a pure hate, but maybe, like, in their mind, they have a reason. Like, they just can't stand. So even if something makes sense and is good, nope, gotta hate it. Gotta hate. No, I want more vaccines for my kids. Then take them. No one said you couldn't. Yeah, and then see whatever. And plus, I see, because I know there's higher goals in mind, because at the same time, there is a goal, as we know, to join, like, to have like a super continent. That's a goal.
Yeah, right? We call it Amero, or the, what were we calling it? I don't know. We were calling it way back in the day.
Yeah,
Amero, or I don't know what it was, but we were calling it
the whole thing.
Yeah,
and we can see it joining up. So.
Well, it has to, because if the BRICS nations start to formulate and actually create a tangible currency, North America needs to unify to go against that. That was the video we made when Dilma Rousseff of Brazil announced back in 2012. We made a video following that announcement she made in Brazil that they were going to create a unified currency with China, India, Brazil, and to counter the U.S. Dollar dominance, right? And I believed then, and I still believe today, 15 years later, that was that the North America needs to unify under one currency to battle the BRICS, or we will be destroyed completely. We'd have the Great Canadian Peso we've been talking about for over 15 years. The Great Canadian Peso.
Yep. Except it'll be like a Chinese one. And you know that they've already been. Like, how do we, as if we haven't known that China has been around. They're a huge influence. So that Carney thing, which, see, to me, I don't know where people get eloquent and all that. They're like, what a great, I'm just like, is that supposed to be, like, are you kidding? Really? You think he looks like a statesman? All that? I don't see it. I have a whole other impression when I see that and hear that, man. It irks my nerves because you just know it's shit bound. And then he has hidden messages. Ooh, hidden messages.
71%,
Nice.
71% of our trade, it goes to America. Without that, the private sector will be completely obliterated. So 71% of our trade goes to the United States. So without them, Canada will not exist. So
yeah, he's like, oh, you know, we'll find another way. They freaked out when the Coots boys during the, you know, in Alberta during the, remember the trucker thing, which today was a day that I have it on my memories that today's the day that they rolled through my town. Yeah, today they rolled through my town when the convoy was heading out east. Today's the day. It's the anniversary. But, you know, yeah. That Carney, those guys.
Carney's going to call a snap election and win and get a majority. Yeah. And there's nothing you could do about it.
Do you know how? Do you know how?
Well, just like they did in Brazil.
Trump derangement syndrome.
Yep. Well, no. But
he's weaponizing Trump derangement syndrome. And that's how he got in.
Nationals are getting emails in Canada saying you better vote Liberal.
Yeah. Nope. That guy, that's a good thing. You know what? If Trump didn't exist, Carney would never have had such a shoe-in because he was going to be, hey, I'm going to do this and that, and I'm going to make a deal, you know, as if it was some big deal of a deal he had to make. Whoopee, close your borders. Nope, not going to do that. Right? Chinese fentanyl, sorry, no deal. Oh, okay. Great, you know, and then tries to kibosh and then but then turns it around. It's like, oh, we're going to find other things. We're going to be great. And everyone's applauding. Like as if that wasn't the plan. Like, and you hear it in his secret speech, right? He does a secret speech to the US, a big secret speech to China for sure. Obviously, that's what he's trying to say. It's communism. And, you know, did you hear, I heard one of his helpers there the other day, and like these ones that want to govern us, and she was saying exactly that. And she's like a no-name person who's with his little entourage. You know, they always bring these new faces up, and she was saying like, you know, that you have to guide people. So we have all these Canadians, but the thing is, we have to guide them. Like you could tell, you know, that is their goal. It's not the will of the people. It's not whatever. It's like, look, this is where we're going. Going over here, we're all going to get used to being a little poor for a while. Remember when they had that whole speech 6 months ago or a year ago? It's like, yeah, everyone's going to have to get used to
forget all that. In November 2022, I made a video saying, well, during Mike of the Night, I said, a man named Mark Carney will come and he'll become your prime minister.
And I was like, who the hell? Mark Carney, who? Right?
Yeah, nobody knew who he was. And I said, that was the fucking guy that was Bank of Canada that brought in the money from China. And then he went to England and did the same shit. Yep. Mark Carney was one of the guys that worked to get approved Chinese-only condominiums in downtown London. We covered that article. Where Mark Carney, he worked towards creating Chinese condominiums and Chinese centers in the city of London, England, where only Chinese were allowed to purchase. We covered that on Trends in the Housing Market back in 2016, 2017.
Well, they're a huge market. To tap into that Chinese market is huge. And so what you see, because I know you like to talk a lot about the Vancouver, Toronto, right? And as you know, it is more geared, the biggest hit is in the new ones, in the new developments, because that market, those markets, the new ones like that, are targeted toward investment. And so no one's that dumb. Who is your best investment buyer of real estate? If you're in a city like that, it's the Chinese. They cater to that because that is their buyer.
Yeah, but the problem is they don't bring anything to the country to help. They're
coming to buy.
They raise the prices of artificial
want
shortages, bidding wars. I went to a bidding wars in Vancouver, and people wanted to sue me for making videos at bidding wars where people weren't even in the country and they were looking at the house. A piece of shit house you could buy in Oklahoma for 40 grand was going 800,000 or 1.7 million over asking.
Yeah, but see, again, the Chinese are the buyer. So that is who they target after all. What are they going to target? Who do you think you have a target market? That's their target market. So obviously the Chinese
people,
have left
foreigners should not be able to buy in Canada, period. I go to China, they'll tell me to go fuck off if I try to buy a property there.
They just bought, the Chinese, did you see that they just bought a Canadian gold company for 5 point something billion for cash?
This is like the 6th or 7th they've already bought. They bought the lithium ion mine in Alberta. We covered that a few years back. They own the biggest coal mine in BC. No Canadian hires. We've been covering all this takeover, farmland, everything.
Cash, Mike. It says right there, and then did you see, where was that in there? Anyway, it's just 5 point something billion cash deal. 5 billion. There you go, all over the news. Financial Post. Yep, they're just waiting for board approval. So that just came, and it's a Chinese company, and I think they're going to be the leader in all gold of the world. So to me, when I see because these builders, they build in anticipation, right? The market you're talking about. That market that's taken a hit, because really Toronto is just 6% down overall. But that particular market is an investment market. It is down. So, because when you plan in advance, you're like, okay, here's who I'm going to have. Here's how they buy. Obviously, it's the Chinese who backed up. That's them. That was all meant for them. So where did they go? You can see they're going in.
March 2024, they backed out of the market.
Yeah, they're gone to get their gold now.
Yeah, March 2024, the Chinese left the Canadian markets. And I think it was April or May 2024, they left the Australian markets. And I think
I don't know about left, but they're not buying. Maybe not selling, but definitely not buying.
No, they're not bidding anything anymore.
No,
the Canadian
they're probably going to hang on. These guys hang on. These guys are hanger-oners. Maybe if they need to invest somewhere else, but they're a buy and hold. That's their mentality. They like to buy 7 generations in advance or whatever. So they might have buy and hold it, but they left all that on the table is all I'm saying. It'll get absorbed. It'll take time, but that big much of a crash, someone left that on the table for sure. That was a plan, like, here we go, we're going to sell. And they didn't. That's what it is. So they left them. You know what I mean? That's who left. They're a big target guy. And what are they doing? They're obviously got other plans. Gold for sure, because look what's happening to the price. Someone's buying. Price doesn't go up when no one's buying. Someone's buying. Who's buying? And then who's buying
China's been selling U.S. treasuries, and Russia have been for the last 15 years and buying gold with it.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah. So that's cool. There's all that financial stuff, which is good. Whatever, it's exciting. I find a lot of it exciting. I like that there's demonstrations in cities where people come out into the streets and they do their prayers, right? Which is a demonstration, right?
Yeah.
That's not prayers, I'll tell you that. That's nothing but a demonstration. They get in that position, they do that stuff, but that's not their prayer time, right? So that's the thing, is that we do maybe need to examine ourselves and say, what are my values? Is that really what I want? Because I remember certain things, right? I've been around a little bit. I remember 79. I remember when they made women do that and they took over, and it's barbaric what that happens. Like, that's not a joke. You know how we had troubles living with a mask. Right? This is not a mask. This is a whole thing over your whole face, and then nothing but long sleeve everything, and then throw a whole big tablecloth over. You got a slit for your eyes. No. Something's wrong with that. Absolutely, something's wrong with that. So, and it's more than just that. It's deeper than that. It's twisted. There's underlying everything. It's not as it seems. That's twisted right there. And it's on our doorsteps in a way. It seems like, oh, that's fine. just a little here and there, but it isn't. You could just really see that taking momentum, and that's an eye opener. We have to really, like you sometimes see if there's predator type, they think that if you're nice guy, that you're just a sucker. That's how they think. They don't think that like they're doing something wrong. They think, oh, well, you're the one who did something wrong. You're the one who, left your door unlocked. So I came and robbed your house. What do you think? You're the dumb one. That's really, that's how they think. They have jails and all that. If you ever watch those shows and see how criminals think, they don't think like us. No. But they capitalize on it. That's for sure.
Like politicians, 99% of the time when they apologize, they actually apologize for being caught. They don't apologize for what they did. They just apologize for being caught.
Yeah, and it's funny how groups of people can get like certain politicians in and then, holy cow. And as you know, and you said that. And I think you did, because now I think, didn't Mike used to say that? And that's like it didn't click. Don't ask me why, Mike. Sorry, I'm going to sound stupid now. But you were saying that bringing in illegals was to get the votes of the undocumented people. Holy shit. How did I not see that before? And I'm quite sure you used to say that, didn't you?
I said that, but I also said that these people coming in, also they're using them to usher in the digital ID, because when the crime gets out of...
for sure.
Like when the crime gets out of control, well, we're going to have to digitally track everyone now. Well, is it a German? Are Germans causing problems in Canada? Are the Portuguese causing problems in Canada? Are the French causing problems in Canada? Nope. They're not causing problems in Canada. It's these other people they brought in. So now they can usher in a digital ID. So they track us all at once to make it safe.
Well, that's what the whole male-female gender identity thing is going to do as well. Because you're going to have to exactly show your genes. Your DNA is going to be your ID. But this is nothing new. I came on your show talking about that before. Like, that was my big thing. That and, the vaccine thing. Even before, like, COVID ever broke out, remember?
Yeah, we were talking about the
show in 2015. I was like, hey, Mike, how are you? Yeah, I'm so-and-so. Did you know vaccines are BS? That was my big thing.
Yep,
and
we were talking about, we did a 2017, our 2017 line stream. I re-uploaded it from 2017 about they're infusing mRNA to be infused in our vaccines by 2020 in CRISPR. That was my 2017 live stream I did. And we're already talking about that already.
About CRISPR. We didn't know that they were going to shut it down and do that. That was a shock.
Well, I told everyone they're going to pull the trigger on a pandemic multiple times.
You did. But what does that even look like? Like, this was big. Like, I don't know that you thought it could be a crazy-ass bullshit pandemic, or that crazy, like, actually shutting everyone in their house. Like, that was out of control. That goes to show you right then and there, if you don't know that it's one big conglomerate going on. And so, yeah, they're just going to tighten it up a little bit and put the land together a little bit. Give us some good stuff, which is good. So see, that's the part that's a bit of but it has to be, because when rulers rule or whatever, when they're trying to guide the mind of the people, they do need your cooperation to a fairly large extent. Yeah, they do. They need your cooperation, or else they can't pull it off. So sometimes you got to back up and go through a nice little honeymoon phase. And like, I know the last time I was on your prediction show, I thought, oh, we're going to go through a honeymoon phase. It's that time, right? Because that's how cycles like that work. Yep. And then look what's happening. So on one hand, I see the good and I'm like, but where does that lead? I mean, they gotta, but then again, I think maybe that's not true, because there are people who truly think that less vaccines is bad, and they truly want, they want to let anyone in. How can you would you want anyone to walk in your home? Literally? Like, literally? It's like, oh, well, are you a nice person or no? Because if you're nice, don't you think this person who doesn't have a home should just come in your house? Like, do I want to vet them? Do I want to know them? You mean they're going to come to my house and I'm going to support them? And then what? Oh, and then I have to think like them in the end? Oh, and here's a nice, tablecloth for you, because if not, I'm going to be too out of control. That's how you could tell that that has nothing to do with God. Anytime you're trying to impose your will on others, that is not, it isn't, and it isn't. So, no way, man. See the signs that are blatant in front of you. That's a dead giveaway. You don't even have to believe in anything. You don't have to know, the Bible too good to know. You have to know.
I like
You
how you put
can't.
it. You don't have to know the Bible too good. You just have to know. Yeah.
Fuck. How do you not know that someone forcing you into that type of life is how can you think that's a good thing? You think you're going to drag people in chains to heaven? That's their excuse. With please, and it's not just that, it's the whole lifestyle, it's everything about it. It's I'm talking about the radical, right? Radical. Yeah, you can be radical Catholic, Christian type and not, that's still not where you go. You still understand that it's a choice and free will. You understand that you have to make a choice, you have to choose that. You don't just say you have to be good or else. That's a choice. That's deep inside, not something you fake on the outside. Right? So it's for your own good, and it's soul growth, and it's whatever. Like you said, mission. I mean, these are the things, sometimes I would think of all, because when I look back, like you said, there's launch periods, and you look back to the 80s to see the launch of things. I see a lot of launches back then and them in fruition now. It's like, right? How do I know now so much? And it's not just about that. It's even about my own self or life or things. And I think, why does that come so late in life? And then I realized, wait a minute, it's not late in life because it is another phase and that is where it's going. So it's not like, oh, I should have learned that then and then lived my life on earth knowing that. Like, why do I learn more now and see more now and get it better? You know what I mean? Yeah, that's why I get it now. Yeah, because I was wondering, gee, wouldn't that have been great? Nope. No, that's because it's not for here.
All right, Lynn, I'm falling asleep here. You're
Yeah.
not boring me. It's just, it's been a super long day and I've been super busy today. And then I got my kids upstairs. We're going to watch a movie. Not a movie. We're going to watch a small TV show we watch before they go to bed. And we'll get you back on in the next 2 to 3 weeks just to update us on where things are going. And
Perfect.
yeah, we'll do that. And I can't keep my eyes open. Like I'm literally falling asleep here. And you're not boring me.
It's late.
Believe me, you're
No,
very
it's
entertaining.
late. Yeah.
It's just just tired, just
No, it's
exhausted.
good to drop in. There's so much happening. It's just good to have, people to talk to or just, have that part in your life too, because you can't really live that part or speak about that part with too many people. So it's just good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you,
Lenny Poo. God bless you.
Alrighty. All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You as well. Good night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm wrapping it up. I'm exhausted. It looks like the Raven tried to call in between, so we'll get him on next week if he wants to call in. And last week we had Steve the Plumber on the show. If you guys want to catch that, we haven't had him on the show in years. And yeah, we're going into our third hour, and I can't keep my eyes open. It's been a very long, busy day today, and tomorrow I got to go back to work. I got to go tech in the kids. And guys, we only use Instagram for call-ins. We don't use anything else. I got almost 200,000 followers on Instagram. I'm not going to sign up to a new system with 4 people and try to find people. I could go through this and find people to call if I have to. Lots of messages people keep sending me about reels. People keep sending me reels every day. People keep sending me stuff all day long. And you know what? I could just message them back and say, hey, you come on my show if you want to keep sending me reels, right? I get 100 to 200 reels a day. So Felipa bought me a coffee. Thank you very much. And then Tio sent me a coffee today. And then we have Walter sending me a gigantic coffee today. Thank you. And Lenny Poo sending me a coffee. Guys, I really appreciate the donations. Again, you guys fund this transmission. That's it. If we make $400 or $500 a year in coffees, that's what we make, right? And Dano is here tonight. And yeah, we'll get you guys back on. And we're going into our third hour here. Yeah, we're going into our third hour of the show, and we'll see. I think the Raven got Instagram, so he's been messaging me on there today. We'll get him on next week if he wants to come on. I'm just trying to think who else. Aniki wants to come on. We'll get her next week on the show, and I think we'll get Craig on. Craig's got some solutions. We'll get him on next week. I'm just going through here. We got to get Dino Bravo back on the show. And then maybe the week after we could get Ricky Spanish back on to update us on a few things. And
Ricky Spanish.
We got Ricky Spanish back on. And yeah, thanks guys. Rick Silver, Jingles for Jesus, Lenny Pooh, Jeff Nugent, all you guys, thanks so much. Papa Pist. Last Watch in the house, everybody here. Mouth of the South, thanks guys for being here. Paul De Silva, PDS 10 in the house. And who else is here? Glenn, thank you so much, Glenn. Thanks everybody for being here on Mike of the Night. Greg Cook.
Only know you love her when you let her go.
Mike Martin signing off for episode 634 of Mike of the Night. Take care, and if you can't take care, stay safe. Mike Martin's here. I have spoken.
Staring at the ceiling in your dark, same old empty feeling in your heart. 'Cause love comes slow and it goes so fast. Well, you see her when you fall asleep, but never to touch and never to keep. 'Cause you love too much and you dive too deep.